There there was a
Was it?
while where I think the entirety of the Bee Movie was on Pornhub. And that was like the thing in my high school
The golden age of
was to
Pornhub.
go for some reason it wasn't like the website wasn't blocked on the school Wi-Fi.
Oh.
What?
Yup. So you could just go
Wait,
on, and so like that was the thing, was just like sending people links to the Bee Movie.
That was always
Oh,
interesting. Like during like my high school lunches, I would always see this one kid who would play like hentai games on his laptop, on his gaming laptop, in the middle of the cafeteria. I'd be so confused. It wouldn't be even like a story driven thing. It would be like one of those weird like Bejeweled like Candy Crush clones. That's
They're
like
all
the more
like that for
combos you
some
get, the
reason.
less clothes the anime character has.
Gross.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Sometimes those show up in my discovery queue on Steam,
Yeah.
and it'll just be like, "Hey, do you want to play fucking Civ 6? How about Hollow Knight? How about wet big tit octopus waifus?" And you're like, "Oh,
Oh.
no, I'm
No,
good."
And then I'll look
Oh
and it's
boy,
like,
do
because
I
you
ever.
play Monster Prom, and I'm like,
No.
You noticed that you played
Steam,
Monster Prom.
it's like, you've played
Yeah.
Monster Prom, Pigeon Dating Simulator. Would you like to play? Not
Okay,
safe
well, that
for
was-
work game.
That one's the pigeon dating simulator is a meme that is safe for Twitch, so you can actually like play
Yeah.
that one.
Mhm.
But don't.
I've had the KFC dating sim downloaded for the longest time, and I've been waiting to play. I know that's like marketing garbage, like when Wendy's made a Dungeons and Dragons clone, but like, I think it works. The marketing scheme worked.
Yeah.
Well, did it work to the extent where you bought the food from the place? Because otherwise it didn't work, and you just have game to play.
I think that is all. That is an interesting thought. I definitely get Wendy's more than I do KFC. I don't get KFC pretty much ever. I just think it's funny that Colonel Sanders is a dating option, even though I have not played the game.
I hit that.
And it's
As someone-
free.
No, I wouldn't.
As someone who lives
It's like
in
a sexy
Kentucky,
Colonel Sanders.
How
Yeah.
good is the fried chicken?
as someone who lives in Kentucky,
Mm.
who actually lives very close to his house, like there's a KFC
the Colonel.
in the man's house,
He's
like
still there.
He's still
legitimately,
there.
like, hang on though, wait.
You're
I thought
spoiling my mystery, Masha.
See, I thought I'd told you guys this before, but if I didn't, I'm so sorry. First off, it's the worst KFC. Don't eat food there. It is literally just the least. Just come to where I live, which is like, 10 minutes away. There's a better KFC here. Anyways, they also have a museum set up in his house, including his bathroom, and that's where you eat. That's where the
So-
dining area is.
Okay, so they
Why?
have the house of the real Colonel Sanders, and they've turned it into a literal KFC
Yes,
/ museum dedicated to the Colonel's endeavors.
you are correct. Yes, and
That's very interesting.
you can eat while looking at his toilet.
Ah, damn it.
I
I wish I'd known this. I would have taken so many ideas when I did the Big ZD's Land.
Every week when I upload these VODs to YouTube,
Mhm.
YouTube gives me an option to say, yes, this is made for kids. No, this is not made for kids. And then the advanced option of like, would you like to limit the audience to 18 plus? And every week my eyes space out and I think about everything that we talk about before we even go into announcements. And I just put, no, it's not made for kids. I do not limit it to 18 plus, but now I'm wondering if I need to.
I don't think we're that crazy.
That's true. I agree.
We're
And that's
never,
also one of
like-
those things where it's like, we put the safeguards there, like if you're letting your kid watch, just like,
Yeah.
go on
If you're
YouTube.
letting your kids watch us, then you got another thing coming.
That would
Looking
be
at you, Chris's
hilarious.
mom.
If you're letting your kids
If you're-
watch this,
if you're
get
a
out of my
mother and you're
room.
letting your child participate in this.
On that same thread, if you're watching on the VOD, hey, thank you for watching on our YouTube.
Hey, welcome. Hey.
Yeah, I hope that you are 16
Get out of my room.
at least. Oh, get out of my room.
Get out of my room!
Out of my room!
No one's gonna get that reference. We were talking about it off stream.
That's okay. If you get that reference, you get 15 points. Been watching a lot of Who's Line, and so my brain is sometimes like, just give people points for nothing and no reason.
And the points don't matter.
Yep.
I know we just shouted out my mom, but my dad did ask me to also shout him out because he feels left out.
Oh,
We
hey.
gotta draw
we
the
didn't
line
know.
somewhere, Chris. I don't know.
I'm
if we're
sorry.
shouting
Oh,
out
I'm
every
sorry. We're
member
trying
of
the
your
line.
It's
We-
gonna
family.
turn into full-on War of the Roses. Some
I'm
of us are gonna
kidding.
be.
I'm kidding.
Says
on
you.
Mars.
Hi, Chris's dad.
Hi, Chris's dad.
Hi, Chris's
Hello,
dad.
father. Hello, Papa.
And Chris's mom. Hello.
Hi, Chris's mom. Hi, Chris's.
No. This is Chris's
Sister?
dad's episode.
Okay.
This is Chris's dad's
And
episode.
also cat and dog. Did I cover everybody?
I have one more dog.
You have 2 dogs?
Yes, I have 2 dogs.
I can't believe this.
Yeah,
I can't believe you have 2
we need
dogs.
more
You're not
pics
allowed.
in the
I have.
pet channel, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Well, they're not really the prettiest dogs.
It does-
Dogs are beautiful.
You
You take that back, Chris.
take that back. All dogs are beautiful, Chris. There will be no canine shaming on this Christian server.
You obviously
Very happy.
the if
this Christian server. Okay.
Christian Minecraft server.
Oh my goodness.
um
I
Yeah.
suppose I
We
should
can't
start the
just keep
announcements.
handing out these shout outs. What are you talking about, Eric? Hey, let's shout out Eric real fast. If y'all
Yeah,
like,
shout
our
out to
friend
Eric.
Eric, go check out his amazing Uncharted Worlds campaign on our VOD on YouTube. Return to OE. These amazing players they did a fantastic job. Who else can we shout out?
Trevor.
Yeah,
Hi, Trevor.
go Masha, go shout out Trevor.
Hi, Trevor.
Okay. Hi, Trevor.
Trevor,
Hello,
shout
Trevor.
out. You're making bread
Hello,
in the next
Trevor.
room right now.
Chris has no dogs. He has a cat.
All right,
No,
now
okay,
now
mother's-
hold on.
my mother's getting into semantics here. Our family
someone-
owns 2 dogs and a cat,
Mhm.
but my mother is saying the cat is mine and one dog is hers and one dog is my sister's.
Oh, I see. I see. There's contention here.
Mhm.
Fight.
Shout
Trevor,
out.
what kind of bread are you making?
Yes, please tell us. Also, shout out to my lovely wife Sydney, who is also in the living room / kitchen.
Hi, Sydney.
Hello, Sydney.
Is it
Sydney.
Hey,
Hello,
Sydney. What's
Sydney.
your favorite scary
Shout
movie?
out,
I'm sure
shout
you've
out
heard that one
Sydney
before.
for having the same opinion as I do about Giles from
About
Buffy the
Giles.
Vampire Slayer.
There's this one scene from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think it's like the haunted house episode where they go to that club to find Giles and he's playing the guitar and he's singing. And like Xander's just like flipping out in the background. He's like, "What is going on?" And whenever I see that scene, I'm like, "Mars is Xander in that movie." Like everything else.
Yeah, I
So
thought
true.
that scene was supposed to be funny because it was like, why is the dad doing the?
The singing.
Why is
the
he-
guitar.
It's like painted in like this like sexy romantic lighting or whatever, and so I thought it was supposed to be funny about like the contrasting irony.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of was.
Yeah.
It was supposed to show that Giles has 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
I would also like to shout out that the current number of money that we have raised is very important for 20 Blaze It.
Nice. That's the weed number.
If you're a parent, I just think numbers are funny all the time. Nothing
Yeah,
special
just
about
number.
this particular
No, this is so fun. No, this is. Speaking of getting us to 18 plus only, there was when I was in middle school, like I got so confused because people kept like laughing at the number 69. I was so and I was like, what does this mean? And so when my mother picked me up in carpool, I was like, Mom, why is 69 funny?
Oh,
And
well, my mother explained, and I was like, oh, that's weird.
no.
Alright.
When
Yeah.
I was in 1st grade, I saw the word fuck scraped into a bench.
Mm.
And so I got into the car. 1st grade is what, like 7 years old? And I
Yeah,
was like, Mom, what does fuck mean? And she had to explain that it was a bad word that older kids scraped into a bench and shouldn't have.
Yep.
I also, no, we're not sharing that. We're not sharing that. No,
We're not sharing that, chat.
I'm not
Oh,
sharing
man.
the next. It's fine. Physically stopping myself from embarrassing myself on stream right now.
Anyway, shall we get into
Valid.
announcements?
Probably. We'll get into
Exercise.
announcements before Masha embarrasses
Oh,
herself on
man.
stream.
It might come out anyway. You guys will get it on break.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
cool. And then
All
I'll
right.
repeat it to stream.
Welcome to TurnTables RPG. We are an experimental tabletop role-playing game stream where every player GMs and every GM plays. We take turns at the end of every mystery, start switching out the GM and telling a I can't talk today. This does not bode well. Telling a long-form improvised story. We are running our second session of Monster of the Week, but don't worry, because the new story is taking place in a new setting with new characters. I don't know why my voice is going so high. If you'd like to check out the first season, those VODs are on YouTube.
A lot of our VODs are on YouTube, not just season 1, but we also have Uncharted Worlds Return to OE, which Eric ran, our beautiful
Very beautiful.
friend there in chat. He showed up before the stream to say hello to us, and I had missed him very much.
Yeah.
As well as all of our Tiny Tables one-page RPG content, which, hey, maybe we'll have some more of that soon for you. Who knows? We'll have to see. Definitely follow us on social media everywhere. We're at TurnTables RPG. We've got the tweeters. We've got the gram, as the kids are saying these days. We've got
That is what the kids are saying.
Twitch, which you're on right now. You're either on Twitch or YouTube right now, most likely, unless this makes it into a clip on Twitter for some reason. Anyways, just hi. Check us out. We also have a Discord channel where you can pop in, say hello, chat to the community, including us. We're also in there, believe it or not. And yeah, we'd love to see you around the internet in different places, because it's always nice to see a friendly face on the internet instead of what we usually see on the internet.
Correct. Having Dustin say the words "the gram" is making a very hard case for keeping him as the social media correspondent for the announcements. I just kind of really love that. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Very quickly, we want to give a quick shout out to the charity campaign that we are running right now to support the Trevor Project. If you don't know who the Trevor Project is, they're the largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning young people. Please join us in supporting. You can find the widget, the Tiltify widget, right underneath our description within the Twitch interface. And then you can also do this QR code in the corner with a phone if you'd like. And help us and join us in protecting our LGBTQ youth. Right now we have 2 milestones, one that we've already hit, which is being able to play Mars's one-page RPG Beyond Genesis, where we are... Mars, how do you describe there's a lot we're bugs inside using the shells of larger bugs
Yeah.
as mechs, but there's like scientific terms that for the life of me you say every week and I cannot.
Exoskeleton.
Exoskeleton, and then arthropod, and then
bugs.
I just never remember which one's the
and then invertebrates.
And an invertebrate.
Because you
So
could be a
The
slug or a worm or something.
invertebrate is the mech pilot for
Yes.
the arthropod. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Right on.
I just take those 3 words and put them in any order that suits your fancy.
Yep.
And that's the game.
Yep.
And then at 500, which we'll see if we go up any, because again we're at an amazing number right now. But at 500, we'll be doing another PowerPoint party, and we'll be uploading the first PowerPoint party that we did to YouTube along with that, to give some context to anything that we continue. But yes, so please join us in continuing to support the Trevor Project. There is no limit right now, no time limit to this campaign, and we're just going to continue going until we hit our final goal, and then maybe we'll continue on after that. I'm not sure, but we just want to continue to give support and spread the word. Yeah, Masha, do you want to talk a little bit about updates?
Sure. I can actually, to give some context if people don't know what a PowerPoint party is, basically like a Brian David Gilbert style. You pick a topic and then you make a presentation on it. Or it can just be informational, but most often it is very funny. My favorite PowerPoint presentations that friends have done are trying to convince me that the Dave Matthews Band is actually aliens, and that Sonic the Hedgehog encompasses all 7 sins. Both of,
Well, that's
both of
just true
these
though.
Mhm.
both of these have come from Trevor.
That's
Very,
actually
very good.
they make that canon in Sonic 2.
Oh, thank God. Shout out to Trevor.
Um, Trevor said it first. Yep. Yep. So anyway, along with those updates, we do have new character art for season 2. Once again, drawn by our favorite and the incredible Patrick Costa, who you can follow on Instagram or Twitter at PCInc_. We are also working towards expanding our channel point prizes, our emotes here and on Discord, and getting captions available. You have already seen most likely that we now have some Bucky emotes. Please
Yeah.
use them. We love dogs. Dogs are great, and Bucky in particular is a very handsome man, and
My sweet,
encompasses
sweet
my mood
boy.
all the time.
He
Um,
just has no thoughts in his head.
no
No
thoughts
thoughts.
head empty. Hey Chris,
Hey,
it's your
Masha.
turn. Yeah,
Oh,
your
it's
turn.
my turn. Oh, wow. Oh, geez. Oh, my. Here we are again. What are you doing here? Whoa. Hey, what's going on? I've seen you around here before. Uh, would you mind giving me a little bit of a... This might be too forward, but do you mind giving me a little bit of a Twitch Prime? By golly Joe, do I love that Twitch Prime? Personally, for me, if you already give Daddy Bezos all your shillings during the every month to get your dog biscuits right to your front door the next day, you can get the the metaphorical dog biscuits that is the Turntables RPG emotes by giving us your Twitch Prime sub. And so if you have Amazon Prime, just click that little subscribe button, click the little checkbox that says sub with Prime, click subscribe, and then you're subscribed with Prime for a month, and then you do that again every single month. You get 1 month free of Twitch Prime sub, or as they tried to call it for a bit, Prime Gaming. I don't know if they're still trying to do that or not. I don't think anyone's called it that. But yeah. So how are you? What are you into?
I'm into playing a homebrew playbook for my character this season. We did it, team.
Yep.
Queen of segues. All right.
Smooth
Um,
transition. Smooth transition.
Charisma 20. I am using the Tracker, which is a playbook by Mike Keck, and Saul is using the playbook Amnesiac by Jason Burns. You can find their respective links in chat and follow Jason Burns on Twitter at @JabmanB. Once I get this seed off the back of my tongue, I have another announcement. Okay. So in addition to wanting to support artists and small creators, there is currently an Etsy boycott going on. It started yesterday. It goes until the 18th. Basically, the gist of it is Etsy has made record profits over the last couple of years, in particular profiting off of the pandemic years, and has turned around and decided that they're going to increase their transaction fees on small business owners. And that's not cool. And a lot of creators are saying, hey, Etsy, we don't like that. So I can link a petition that folks want you to sign if you support their cause. And if you have Etsy or, artists or creators that you like to support, you can always reach out to them and see if they have a different avenue by which you can buy their goods. Or you can just wait until after the 18th. But, I think that there are like 150,000 sellers or something that are already signed the petition.
Yeah.
And it's, I think it's important, especially right now where the general corporate vibe is, oh, we've made a lot of money lately. Let's see how much more we can make. And it's just not cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up, Maisha. In the spirit of support, Want to quickly plug a D&D charity stream that I play in on Wednesdays called Reflections of Chaos. You can find it if one of my comrades will type in !Ari. We play at 5:30 p.m. Central Time on that Twitch channel, and right now we're in the middle of one of my arcs. So if you'd like to see me DM, come on by. I can promise you tomorrow is going to be juicy lore. Yes, I've been looking forward to it for a very long time. So very excited for that. Come check us out. Very quickly, I'm going to pass it off to another beautiful man whom we all love, so that they can plug themselves. Dustin. You,
Oh, that's me. Hi,
that
guys.
beautiful
Hi.
stranger
you.
across the room.
That's me. Hello.
Have
I
us
also
seen you
stream-
around.
Ah, no.
Also,
You
it's
actually have
only
it.
it's 13,000 shops have signed,
Mm.
not 150,000. I don't know when that was a big number.
I
Didn't
wish
sound
it was
right.
150,000.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, it could be even more. That number is just folks who have signed on to close their stores this week by strike organizers. So could be more, probably not less.
It's still a good number, and it's like
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
first
Oh, yeah.
first 2 days, something along those lines, of the strike
Yeah.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah, it started yesterday, so.
Suck it, Etsy. Quote me on that. Anyways, yeah. Speaking of quoting me, I stream on Twitch sometimes. Twitch.tv/Valor6. That's me. The famous the Valor6 is me. I play video games sometimes. I've not for a little bit just because mental health sucks sometimes. But you know, I will. Don't you worry. Oh, I will. Anyway, on to you, Chris.
Speaking of mental health, hello. Anyway, so if you haven't, so it might be hard to tell since I'm trapped in this horrid box that Soul traps me in every Tuesday. But I did take some art off my walls because the semester is almost over in a few weeks. Thank God. And if you're looking at my tiny little box and you're like, dang, I miss all those fun things on the wall that Chris has usually. You can get a better look at them on my portfolio at chrisallard.net. Over the weekend I just completely rebuilt it from the bottom up, and so it has a whole new look and a whole new vibe. I also uploaded some of the videos that I've edited for Turntables RPG. So there's 4 clips on there. To the most recent one being the bird spit clip. The British breakdown that Soul had is another clip. The oh so classic savory gravery, and one clip that never saw the light of day because it was just a little too long. That I've titled Chuck's Tech Adventure. It's I just needed 4 clips. I didn't want to put just 3 on there.
Mhm.
And so I was like, let's just do one that I did a while ago that so check those out if you want if you're like, oh, I obviously you can check them out on the Twitter and the Instagram, which would be the preferred way to check them out. But if you want to specifically look at that stuff on my website, you can do that too, as well as also I have other videos of things I've like. If you want to see 10-minute videos of me doing science experiments while doing a silly voice.
Chris. I think you'll see that it's called The Gram.
Oh yes, of course, the gram. I apologize. Yes, please check out. We primarily post our clips to the gram, of course. But yeah, so just check that out if you want to check out that stuff. I have digital art, graphic design, photography, traditional art of all kinds and all shapes and forms, and obviously video editing. So check that out there if you want. At some point, I'm going to add a page for that gives commission information, but I'm just so scared of rejection. Continuing on.
I did a thing once. I think I started like this exact same way last week. But every single week, it surprises me for some reason when we go on and I have to talk again. I made a game. It's called Beyond Genesis. We're gonna play it at some point. It's about being an invertebrate piloting around the exoskeleton of an arthropod like a giant mech. It's about a bug being inside of a bug in a non-sexual way. Why did I my immediate
You just described what it was before that sentence.
I'm done talking now. There's a link to it in chat.
So
You
yeah,
can buy it, I guess.
yes, please
You can also
support.
just download it for free.
Please,
I'm eating my words now.
please
Yes,
someone
but
buy
feel
it
free.
for $60 so that Mars can also play Elden Ring.
Yes, of course.
Bold of you to assume that my computer can run Elden Ring.
Yeah, that
Please
is
buy
also a
it
situation.
for $560 so we can get Mars a PlayStation and also Elden
Yes.
Ring.
Oof, a
Yeah.
PS5 for for $500?
I don't know how much consoles cost these days.
Isn't
I'm out of
the
touch.
digital version is 500? I think, right?
I mean, I have only seen them on like Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like,
yeah. If
yeah.
you're trying to get one secondhand, then
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
or like from a reseller or whatever.
Yeah.
Please buy Beyond Genesis for $1,000 so Mars can fly to California and we can have them play Elden Ring on Trevor's cool gaming computer since it's impossible to buy a PlayStation.
Yeah. That sounds like a good plan. Or buy it for $690, because funny number.
So true.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Or
Which
just
part-
download it for free, that's also fine.
Which part of that number is funny?
The fact that there's 2 zeros, or there's 3 zeros at the end, because there's the 0 from the 690, and then there's the 2 zeros from the cents, and 3 is a funny number, so...
Okay. 3
I
is
think
a
that-
funny number. It's true.
Yeah.
That's why you got the little animal emotes with the little smiley face with 3.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, and also because 9 and 6 are both divisible by 3, so it's like a bunch of 3s in a row, and
Wow.
then you can just think about the little, like the less than sign,
Mhm.
and then the colon, and then the 3, because that's a good one.
Yeah,
Just to
I
be
just
clear
want
for
to,
the audience, this is the end of the announcements. We're no longer doing announcements.
Yes, we are now
Yeah.
just on our own tangent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to point out that the stream started with Mars just name dropping Pornhub, and now
Mhm.
it is ending.
The first
With-
audio that showed up on this.
with,
on this
Oh,
recording.
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, is
I'm
this?
so glad.
So just throwing that out there. Enjoy that, if future Chris, if you're watching
Immortalized on the internet.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun when I have to rewatch this.
Yep. Here we are.
Now, Crackety Jones put this command in, and now I want to.
no.
Now I want to put
We
something
should
on.
put
it.
something in there.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta
I've
put the
got an
B-movie
idea.
in there.
Just
Well,
put
I'm not.
no.
I'm not gonna link Pornhub, but I would
Yeah,
like to put
don't
something.
actually
on.
do that.
Just put
I think
no.
that's a quick way to get banned.
Yeah, correct.
Just real quick, just say it no. That's it. Just have the bot just say no.
Mm,
Mm.
That's it. Like that's your answer. No.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call.
Or we clip this discussion, make it into a clip,
And then have the
There it
bot
is.
link to
and
that.
then
That's
have the
good.
bot link back to the clip.
That's kind of funny.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's recursive. I'm into it.
I'm glad you enjoy my recursive humor.
So
Should I?
Mars, do you have an intro?
I don't have an intro other than saying welcome to TurnTables RPG.
Wow, there we go. Soul transition now. Do it.
Wink!
Get out of my room.
we've returned.
We have.
returned.
We have returned.
Last time previously on Turntables RPG, Wet Mothman, who wasn't Mothman. So last week we adventured into the forest. You found a kind of goopy, wet bird spit nest. See our wonderful clip on Twitter and Instagram, and that's the only places you can see it. That was not actually made of bird spit. It was made out of creature goop. You tracked down the creature and chased it through the woods. While you were doing so, you saw it transform from presumably it had transformed from the Mothman into the Loveland Frogman, and then it transformed again from the Loveland Frogman into Pants. I can't remember their name. Fresno Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawlers.
My brain always just refers to them as pants because they look like little pants. So, you then trapped it. Arthur read its mind, or like linked with it psychically, which was fun for him, and realized that even though it was acting like very pitifully and sort of animalistic, that it was very intelligent and was intentionally looking pitiful so that you would see it as less of a threat. You let it go. Or no, you didn't let it go. So you didn't let it go. It wanted you to let it go. You killed the thing, and then you heard a fun noise. Somewhere, some elsewhere in the forest. Did I miss anything?
I think that's pretty much it.
Cole savagely beat up Arthur.
That is true.
That is
Cole
true.
is now the strongest in the party.
Yep.
I'm adjusting the
Yeah.
volume, so I'm not saying anything.
I'm just saying Arthur kind of went down like a little bit. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Wow.
No holds barred there.
I'm not gonna lie, last session when y'all killed the monster and everyone was doing like 4 damage to this creature, I was like, did we all build combat characters? Like, did we all build so that we could deal really high damage?
No, it's so in my other Monster of the Week game, I'm playing the Monstrous, and well, that's also that. But like, and it's so crazy how completely broken the Monstrous is to dealing the most amount of damage you can. It's crazy. Like I can deal 6 damage in 1 turn, and then if I get advanced improvement and roll a 12, I can deal 12 damage, and then if I took the sneaky improvement, that gets me +2 if I do a sneak attack. Anyway.
I'm just a normal dude with an axe. It's just that it just so happens that axes hurt people when you hit them with them.
Sure,
So
Yeah.
makes sense. Very
My
good.
gun does big damage. Oof, ouch, because it's a big gun. So,
Yeah.
also true. You hit someone with a gun, and they're gonna ask you why you did that because you could have just shot them. But
I remembered chat is now on stream, but I do appreciate the comment of Bartleby Prime of in this Oops All Apophis episode of Turntables, the party punches through a building. I miss my big snake who can just punch through a building.
It's true. Apophis was wild.
If you guys miss Apophis, check out Turntables RPG Season 1 on YouTube now.
Or just like look behind. Oh no, it's not. I guess you can kind of see it.
Yeah, it's you just get the chin and the
You
webcam.
You get the chin. He's there though.
Sorry guys, the overlay has to have a box.
Yeah. Heartbreaking.
Okay, so we're in the woods.
Anyway, yeah, we're in the woods. There's no one around and your phone is dead.
I understand that reference.
Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Keeper, what time of day is it?
Great question. So it was approaching nightfall. I believe last time I was asked about time. And it's been a little bit since then. So I think it's the sun has set. It might not be like all the way dark yet, but it is rapidly approaching darkness.
Okay.
And you feel like the fog is getting thicker.
Right. You also mentioned that the woods had like a very eerie spirit to them. So like
Yeah.
it probably is getting darker faster underneath the canopy.
Yep.
Okay.
There's some creepy, spooky woods. There's that, like, you know, regular woods where it's not too uber creepy, spooky. These woods have bad vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're all probably a little bit covered in like cryptid goop, shapeshifter goop, and you just heard a noise that was similar to one that this shapeshifter creature made earlier. And it's
Sorry, Keeper. Just more questions.
Works for me.
In the last session, when Arthur failed his roll to, to his sensitive roll to kind of like touch psychically with the creature, or yeah, he failed, but he was still able to kind of like touch base. But after being assaulted by the psychic scream of like basically everything in this forest, is he still feeling the effects of that?
I think when the creature died, it like severed that connection. And like it allowed you to basically like break free from that connection. I imagine your head is still kind of like ringing, and like you probably would like to go sit in a quiet room for a little bit, but like you're not completely under, like, you are capable, you're up, you're moving, if you would so like to be.
Another question very quickly, just because you mentioned that, was Arthur still psychically tied to the creature when it died?
It was like when the creature like died, it was like a sharp cutoff. So
Okay.
so it was not this creature did not die like a slow death that it was connected to Arthur for the whole time. It was like turning off a light switch, basically.
Okay. Cool. Those are all my questions for the moment. I'm sure I will have more.
All right.
Arthur's just kind of like still on the ground, probably propped up with like an arm and like two of his knees, just kind of like trying to catch his breath again. I'll say that he is kind of like was perspiring heavily during the time, and so he's still kind of like recuperating from that.
All right. How's everyone else doing? There's goop everywhere.
I'm looking up the goop.
Philip, no!
What does it taste like? Good?
No, it tastes... I can't tell if you're actually doing this or not, but if you're actually doing this, it tastes...
if it's everywhere, I mean, some might have gotten on me.
I mean, like, the creature... I don't think it would have gotten on you, like, the creature did not explode violently and land
It's just
in
they
your
melted
mouth
into
at all.
goo.
It, like, melted, and there's probably, from, like, Fig's gun, I think Fig shot it. There's probably some spray, but...
I think Philip's going to kneel down, run his finger through it, put it in his mouth, and go, oh, well, that's disgusting.
Does Philip have a tongue?
Yes, very charred.
Okay.
Yeah, it tastes awful. It tastes, like, acrid and,
That's
like,
a fun word.
Yeah,
it
acrid's
is.
good. Yeah.
musty, and it has a deeply unpleasant texture. Um, yeah, it tastes bad.
Well, so did anyone else hear the other sound of an ominous creature deeper into the woods? Or was that just the voices again?
No, I think that there's another one of these things that we should probably go and get sooner rather than later.
There is still a missing man as well.
You're not wrong, but goodness gracious, gotta minimize our variables.
It's okay. I think I've got this.
Okay, Mr. Leader, let's do this.
Hey, Keeper, can I make a roll, please?
Absolutely.
Okay, so as you all know, Cole is mundane. He's just a regular dude. So he does not actually use magic. So similar to Soul last episode, and I think Fig is also shown to have an alternate weird basic move, right? Like I believe that Fig punched through a wall at one point or something.
No
along those
limits, I
lines.
think, is the one that figures.
I have no limits.
Yeah.
And the sensitive with Arthur. Cole's going to go with his gut. He has the alternate move, Trust Your Gut. When you consult your instincts about what to do next, roll plus weird. On a 10 or more, the keeper will tell you where you should go. Wherever it is, it will be important. You get +1 ongoing on the way to this place. On a 7 to 9, the keeper will tell you a general direction to go. Take +1 forward as you explore that. And on a miss, your instincts lead you to danger. So I think basically every one of these fit Cole very, very, very well. So I'm gonna roll plus weird if that's cool with.
Wonderful.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait.
Also, these are the alternate weird moves that you can find in the Tome of Mysteries Monster of the Week supplement, or like second edition book. But you can also find them online. Yeah, they're also on like the Monster of the Week page. No, Dustin.
I rolled
What's
an
your roll?
11.
Oh.
Oh.
I wanted Cole to fail. Are you kidding me?
Why would you do this to me?
That would have been hilarious. No, I rolled an 11 plus my 1 weird makes it 12.
Well,
Which
that's
I-
wonderful.
Wow.
I don't have advanced, but he
Yeah.
really, he. So yeah. Anyway, so you go ahead and tell me how this plays, and I'll tell you how Cole reacts to this information.
So, Cole, you get the feeling this creature, from the sound of it, sounded like bigger. It sounded bigger. But you also figure that it probably knew the other creature, or like had some contact with the other creature. So you figure going back to the nest is going to be a good play. It's a little bit more open. You'll have a little bit of the like moonlight once it gets really dark, which will give you an advantage. And obviously fighting it on its turf is not going to be great, but that's the place it's going to return to, as opposed to you wandering around in the forest for God knows how long.
All right, trust me, and he's just gonna go.
Ah, shit. Not again.
He's a master of the land.
Fig is for sure gonna follow him because, yep. Young
He
man
will-
gets himself into danger all the time.
He will start talking about why he's doing it, but he's not going to explain before he starts moving. So you need to be following him to hear him. But he's like, okay, so this was this creature was kind of small, and we were able to defeat it. But there was a nest, which probably means there's a bigger one, and that roar was a lot bigger. So where do you go if you hear your baby scream? Back to the nest, right? Right. So that's where we're going.
You're so smart.
Trust me, I've just got a feeling.
I just imagine Philip's like dragging Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur's like probably in the back of the pack, and like, yeah, I think the only way he's keeping up is because Philip glows technically, and he could probably like see it, like in the dark. But he is shaken, so he's just gonna stick to the back.
All right, sounds good. And you are walking through this forest, and Cole, I think with your 12, you like know the way back. But it feels like it's taking you a lot longer, not just because you're like not running this time, but like you feel like you keep getting turned around, even though it's mostly a straight line. But you just like kind of keep forging your way through. You're like, yeah, I know this is the way back. You trust your gut here, and you make it back to the nest, and there's this big goopy nest on the ground, and it's fun and cool, and it's in a clearing, but it appears to be empty for now. And you hear again this like it's almost like a growl. It's more like it's more wet than a growl, which is not a way I like to generally describe sound effects.
Like a
but
like a phlegmy growl.
Sort of, yeah.
Chris.
Thank you, Chris, for these sound effects.
You're welcome.
Another
If you
clip
want even more wet sound effects, then you should go and watch our most recent bit video.
And if
'cause,
you'd
oh
like to
boy,
see-
is there some weird wet stuff in that.
If you'd like to see more of Chris's voice acting skills, please go
Wow.
check out the clip on the Twitch, on our Turntables Twitch called that are specifically for Chris to use in his voice acting reel.
Of course.
And if you want to see more of Chris's wet art, you can go to
Wow.
chrisallard.net
Oh,
and
no.
And then you can print it out and then pour water on it.
Of course, yes.
Link in chat.
there it is. Okay.
Yeah, but you hear another one of these kind of growls, and it's you would guess it's within like a quarter mile, but you can't. Yeah. So you're standing in the middle of the nest. If you'd like to do any sort of investigating or preparing or just fucking around and finding out.
Okay. This thing is definitely heading back here, right?
Fig is gonna look for eggs. Fig doesn't normally take what Cole says to heart, but is just like, oh god, oh fuck. He's probably right this time. And so she'd like to take a look around, and see if she finds eggs or anything like that.
All right, sounds good. I have to pull up the list of moves, but would you like to roll a brain move?
Yeah, I assume
investigate
investigate a
That's what it's
mystery.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dice is cocked, and that dice left my dice tray. That is, excuse me, sir. That is a 5 and a 4 is 9, plus my 3 sharp is a 12.
Damn.
11
all
on
right.
stuff is good. Keeper, what is being concealed here?
Oh, boy.
I've solved your
surprising
hiding stuff from
everyone.
me puzzle.
Surprising everyone, there's like gross eggs. How surprising, given our poster this week had funky eggs on it. But they are like sort of almost woven into this horrible spit nest, this horrible goop nest, uh, and like they are very insect like. They're not hard like birds' eggs, or like leathery, I guess, like shark's eggs or anything. They're um very they're sort of like oblong, and I assume to kind of find these, you're just kind of like putzing around, I guess, in the goop. And I think
Sure am. Sure
the way
am.
you find the first one is just like your whatever you're using to kind of move this goop around, whether that's like your hand or something else, a stick.
I am you for let the record show that Fig would be using her kukri and not her bare fucking hands to move this goop around.
All right. Well, I think you kind of hit like a tough spot, and then you pull the kukri a little harder, and it gives, and it's like it's like when you've broken a yolk on like a chicken egg, where it just kind of gushes out.
Oh, it's just getting worse.
Yeah, and there's a little like, it sort of looks like an insect, but it's like soft and round, but like it has 6 legs. It's like if you combine like, yeah, I guess it's sort of like an insect, but it doesn't have necessarily like a hard exoskeleton. It's this sort of grubby creature.
But I apologize if you already said this in your description. How big are these eggs?
They're like a little bigger than a football, so like that big probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Uncomfortably sized.
Uncomfortably sized indeed. So with my second hold, can I kind of scrutinize this thing and try to determine what can it do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I imagine you find the one and then kind of go searching around for more, and so you find kind of them in like sort of different stages of development, you can assume. They sort of get more like, they sort of, the further along in development they get, the more they sort of look like just a bunch of things put together. Like if you had just sort of like a creature that is also like a collage of other creatures put together.
An amalgam?
An amalgam. That is a great word for it. They are all like soft, and there's one that appears to be like pretty much done, pretty much developed. And you kind of assume this because it looks like just like, it looks like a fawn, like a baby deer, but like it's got these like weird lumps on it, as if like this creature has taken the form of a forest animal but hasn't quite gotten there, and that one is covered in more of this like kind of goopy slime that seems to make up the nest and made up the form of the other creature. Yeah. So you get the feeling it can transform. And you get the feeling that I I think as you're kind of looking through, you find sort of cluster like a cluster of these eggs within part of the nest. And I think as you're kind of searching through, uh, you hear the growl again from the forest, and one of the eggs kind of push it, like makes it like moves a bit.
It's nudged
Yeah.
from the inside.
Yeah.
I'm
The shell is not hard, so you can see like a
Something pushing up against it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how fun.
Can I
Sort of like the scene in Alien right before the chest burster comes out.
Yeah,
Oh.
so the
Yeah.
one that moves it, can I step on it?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't want to be the one to bring it up, but
I'm not even gonna have you roll kick some ass or anything
Okay.
because it's an
a
egg.
defenseless egg.
You you step on it and it like
We're approaching interesting territory, guys.
it makes a horrible squelching noise.
Yeah.
But
You know, I could have just set that on fire if you didn't want. If you did, you went for a very visceral way to do that.
It started moving at the reaction of whichever one is already out and screaming. I don't know how much time we have, but if anybody's got an idea for how to get rid of all of these as fast as possible, we should
I can
probably get
burn
on
them.
that.
Actually, that's
we'll say the creature that kind of came out of that egg did not look very finished. It looked earlier in the developmental stages.
There is no ethical thing wrong with this. Let's go.
Keeper, are there like spare branches on the ground?
Not in this immediate vicinity. You got the feeling it had sort of been cleared out to become this nest, but like it's a forest, so you go 5 feet in any other direction
Yeah.
and there's branches everywhere.
Cool. Arthur's going to like grab a branch and like break it off, and like I don't know, I guess rip off like a part of his pant leg or something along those lines, and just kind of like wrap it around, and go up to Philip and say, if you're gonna be burning things, give me a torch.
Okay, I guess.
I will say that if we're gonna burn this shit, we better make sure that we're not gonna burn down the whole forest. This is protected land after all.
I am not thinking about the ethical repercussions of my actions. Let's go. Do you want me to roll to light the torch on fire?
No, I think that's probably something you can just do.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna say that, like, Arthur, if you are gonna use the torch to help, I guess, better question, would you rather, me roll if Arthur's gonna, or would you rather roll if Arthur's going to use it to try and burn, or would you rather roll to set it on fire, I guess?
I want the torch for light. If
Okay,
it can be used to burn things, great. But primarily, I want the torch for light.
Yeah,
Okay.
my plan of attack is just like I'll like light Arthur's torch so he has a flashlight, basically, and then I'm gonna turn around and then I want to actually roll to light the eggs on fire.
All right, why don't you use magic to light the torch then?
Okay.
Not real quick note. I am going to reload my rifle with one of my siren bone ammos. I'm just saying it out loud so that I don't get fucked over if we're doing combat later.
How many
Alright.
of those did you have?
I had 7 total. I've used 1 so far,
Yeah,
so I have
you've only-
6 left.
Gotcha.
If it ends up, we can always, make
Nah.
it different if we need to.
I was just wondering because it is like one of those like Monster of the Week in and of itself isn't necessarily like a resource management game, but in this
They don't
specific
get-
scenario, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't usually get mad with like ammo stuff. But anyway, I rolled an 8 plus my 2 weird is a 10. So I guess so Philip just like opens his mouth and shoots fire at the torch, and lights up Arthur's little thing.
Excellent. Is it
and then-
normal fire?
I like to think it's when it comes out of Philip, it's green, but then once the torch is lit, then it like sort of it slowly gradients back to like normal fire.
Cool. Hell yeah.
And then Philip's gonna turn around and be like, "Okay, time to make an omelet." How do you like your eggs? Let's go into a lengthy conversation about how we like our eggs. If you want to get that reference, watch season 1 of Turntables RPG.
That was last season. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not this season's joke.
Yeah. I just realized we've gone like the whole season so far, and not a single character has been referenced eating big CDs, which I think is a shame.
Just
I'm
haven't
sorry,
gotten.
I was the only one. I was the only one keeping it alive last season.
That's okay.
There's no, like, canonically, there's no big ZDs in Fogwell, right? The closest
No,
one
there
is
is.
in.
Yeah,
Oh, there
there's one in
is?
Whitebridge. There's not one.
No,
in
there's one in
Fogwell.
Fogwell.
Where? I thought it was just in Whitebridge.
No, we said that there's one like by the exit out of Fogwell.
Ah.
Because in the first
Interesting.
episode, Philip has a big ZD's bag.
Interesting. Okay.
We cut to Ren right now, and Ren's just like
Ren's
sitting
eating
here.
big ZD's
Yeah,
at
there
Fogwell.
we
He got
go.
back.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway,
Anyway, so do you want me to roll to set these eggs on fire?
yes, that would be great.
Okay. Okay, I rolled a 5 and a 1. So that is a 6 plus 2, which is an 8.
All right. Sounds-
So I have to choose so that's just I'm using my burn everything, which is inflict 3 harm area magic, obvious, which so I'm setting those eggs on fire, and then I need to choose my glitch for use magic, which I'm gonna say the magic draws immediate unwelcome attention.
That's
Yeah, I think that you set, like, you go to, light this thing on fire, and it catches like that, and it creates a sort of like hissing noise, like when if you've ever thrown like a water bottle into the fire with the cap on. Don't do that. That creates plastic fumes. But it makes like a hissing sound because of the air.
It's like isn't it like the boiling of the water on the inside?
Yeah.
Trying to escape
Yeah.
as
It-
steam. Not 'cause it's
It
scared
makes
or
that
anything.
sort of noise where it's like an awful like hissing noise, and you hear this creature, the forest, the creature in the forest, sort of make like a yell that is, or a growl that is like cut off by the sound of like how do I describe it? Like I don't know how to describe it. It's cut off, and you hear the flapping of big giant wings.
excellent.
And you see from a ways in the distance, like rising up out of the forest, as it crosses kind of the moon, and you can see it silhouetted in the moonlight, a big creature. It is. You only saw the other creature when it was smaller, about like 4 foot was kind of the biggest you saw it at. But this thing looks to be like twice that size, and it kind of looks like it has 2 heads, or like it's lumpy. It's lumpy, but it's got big old wings, and it's seems to be scanning the area, and I think it spots the fire, and you see it start flying towards you.
My alarms. Sorry.
Exactly.
You're saying lumpy, and that's the only thing I could think of. Arthur's gonna draw his sword, and keep the torch aloft. Going full blown Aragorn right now.
Hell yeah. That's the dream, isn't it? To go full blown Aragorn. Anyway.
And my axe.
Does Cole say that?
Yeah.
I don't get that reference.
We gotta watch it. We gotta watch some movies.
If we canonically watch the Lord of the Rings like this group does, I would be so happy. Like, truthfully, like, just putting it out there. If we can have like an intro where we're all just like, I don't know, cramped into Cole's small apartment watching the Lord of the Rings, that'd be fantastic.
Let me add that to my Catboy mystery
Hell yeah.
post-it note.
Thank you.
Sounds
Of course.
It'll open with Lord of the Rings marathon.
Yep. Yeah, and this creature is flying towards you, with big, like, wing beats, and it's coming in fast.
Okay. Question for the keeper. So we
Yes.
are within kind of like a small little, like, for lack of a better term, like hollow / dip within the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where like this nest was.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, there is a term for it, but it's like fuck. It's not an indentation. It's something else, but like, you know, it's just like there is like a lip to get up to the top of the, or get back to the like normal ground, and then like and then there's trees just kind of like all around us. Is there anything else within this space?
Not really. This space seems to have been like cleared out to form this nest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a couple of like dead trees sort of along the edges of this like divot in the ground, but not nothing in particular.
Okay. Arthur's gonna try and get like out of the divot, so that he can be on just kind of like higher.
Sounds good.
That's what Arthur's doing. I don't know what everyone else is doing.
Is anyone else gonna do anything to prepare before this creature? I've just seen chat. Wish I didn't.
Well,
Anyway,
you know,
This is
anyone else going to?
This is where
prepare?
the TPK happens, because we were talking about a Captain
Yeah.
mystery in chat.
since you asked, Masha, I'll go ahead and talk about in detail who I think everyone's persona is. That I've
You
ever
should
played.
save it for my mystery when it'll be relevant.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Sounds
Are
good.
there completely unrelated? Does anybody know of any tabletop games that are all about being furries? Unrelated.
Yes.
Completely
I think
unrelated.
there's a Warrior Cats tabletop
No.
game.
Listen.
What? We have
Legitimately.
to play. We have
really
to play
quick,
it.
there is a furry tabletop game that I've played that I actually enjoyed a lot that is all about late stage capitalism and what it can be. Yeah, I know, right? It's cyberpunk furries.
Eric's at a wander home.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's not
There's in the wait,
wrong.
I believe
A persona
There's
does
two
not
sort
have
of
to be
lesbians.
anthropomorphic.
Oh, I have mine too.
I think
Someone.
I think there's a one where like everyone's a furry creature. A setting. I don't know. I haven't gotten through reading yet. Yeah, there's a hyena one where everyone's like a hyena.
Neat.
Interesting.
So that's vaguely furry.
so anyways, Cole gets his axe out.
Okay, that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I think that we're definitely past the point. Fig is just gonna like have her rifle ready, and try to separate herself enough from her companions that we won't get AoE'd. by goo, probably by a goo
Mhm.
attack. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a smart idea.
Cole is actively running like forward,
Good.
Mhm.
like just waiting on this thing, and he just shouts to the air, "Die, monster! You don't belong in this world." I always wanted to say that.
Oh, great.
Bonus points to anybody who gets it.
All right, and I think this creature, um, basically rockets downwards. You see it kind of flying above you, and then it pulls in its wings. And it doesn't. It like literally pulls its wings back into its body. It's sort of this shifting, horrible mass above you, and then it falls to the ground, like plummets to the ground, and you see this. I think it dramatically lands in the middle of the nest that is on fire, and kind of puts out like the fire right where it lands. The fire's still kind of brimming the nest, and it is this big, like, hulking four-legged creature that looks sort of like if you combined like a bear with an ape with like a it's got like feathery moth antenna, uh and sort of a pit bull like face, um and
Cold,
it's mm?
cold jump attacks it.
All right.
Do more damage.
I mean, listen, he does not wait. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Real fast. Is this creature now within, like, it's being illuminated by the fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned it having more than one head, or like seeming as though it did. Can we see what you mean by that now?
Yes, it is. It's like actively transforming as it sits in front of you, but also you can see sort of like as if it has been half absorbed into this creature, a person,
Mm-hmm.
like a guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
rip that guy.
Yeah, who does not appears to be like glassy-eyed and covered in goop and like not kind of grayish, not very alive anymore.
But do we know that they are dead, or do they just seem like out of it?
They just see like I think probably you can tell from looking at this
Or do
that
you
like
want
this
us to
guy
roll?
is I've already said like
Okay.
90% of the sentence.
Right.
It's this guy's dead.
Okay.
But
Well, the mission was for naught. I could always bring him back.
oh Christ. I didn't think about that one.
So Cole was rushing forward.
Yeah,
Yes, Cole is rushing forward.
I got a 6 and a 3 plus my 1 tough makes it a 10.
All right.
So,
How much harm is that?
so that's gonna be base. Base is 3 harm.
Mhm.
It's 3 harm, hand messy.
All right.
And my extra effect. We'll give +1 forward to another hunter.
All right. Sounds good. And I think as you kind of I'm imagining you sort of like jumping at this thing like kind of Hulk like, but you've got an axe in your hands. And I think as you land on this creature, it like it sort of almost jumps into you, kind of hitting you in the stomach, and
That's mean.
knocking the wind out of you. And so you're gonna have -1 forward on the next time. Basically next round.
Okay.
Because you have fallen to the ground as this thing collides with you and knocks the wind out of you and sends you just falling like a rock to the ground. And it is making a big loud noise at you, at all of you,
There's
and
a
it's
train
sort
making
of
a loud noise.
Hmm?
There's a train making a loud noise. There it is.
Ah!
it makes a noise and it sounds just like a train. It's really
Fine.
weird.
Really
You
weird.
hear a cowboy from
Um,
Texas scream.
Yeah.
Get that Foley work going.
Is the noise that it's making at us intelligible at all? Like, can we understand what it's saying, or is it just kind of a scream? Just general.
I think it it opens its mouth and the face that's like kind of entombed into it also opens its mouth. Uh and from the main mouth the creature is screaming, but it looks like the face, the guy's face is like maybe trying to mouth words at you or is saying something and you can't hear it over the sound of this creature screaming.
Very cool.
But he is dead.
He is dead, yes.
Okay. Oh god. Oh
If
boy.
you would like to investigate a mystery to figure out, or not investigate a mystery, read a bad situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to assess this before I pop off because I mean, not as if the first blow hasn't already been given, but can I do that? Can I read
Yeah,
a bad
go ahead.
situation? This feels like a bad situation.
It's a pretty bad situation, I would say.
I rolled a 6, but I have +3 sharp, so that's a 9.
Damn.
Plus
all
one
right.
forward.
10.
All right. Hold 3.
Cool.
What's my best way in? What's my
Sorry, I
best
could
way
have
out?
let someone else.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed yet? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? Or what's the best way to protect the victims?
What's the biggest threat?
This creature is like
Okay.
it is
Okay.
big and powerful, and it is like sort of transforming before your eyes, and you
Boy.
can see it like it looks like it's kind of, I guess, along its back you can see sort of a pustule form, and inside of it you can see through it, and inside of it you can see like a scorpion tail, that appears to be kind of being formed by this creature and maybe ready to burst out.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Oh, you got a 10. That's right.
I did.
I also realized that I had one hold left on read benefit situation from earlier too.
Ah, if you want to use it at any point,
Yeah.
let me stop you.
Maybe that, not that you haven't noticed yet, but like there's still a big fire going in this forest, and like this creature is standing in the middle of it, and has kind of gotten rid of the fire like directly around it, but like you are still in a forest and things catch on fire in forest, as well as the fact that like this fog is still like really thick, and you can see, but like you kind of worry about like if it's gonna keep getting thicker, what's the deal with this fog?
Is it gonna impede?
Yeah. It's not gonna impede momentarily or like at the moment, but maybe when you're trying to get back to Fogwell, if you have a poor sense of direction or if you have a good sense of direction, and the forest is weird.
I might hold on to my last hold for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And well, does anybody want to do anything like immediately? Because if not, I'll probably just
I'm waiting to see
aim
what
and...
Philip does, because Arthur's not going to be in melee with this creature while Philip is about to do something.
Just starts launching fireballs.
That's very valid.
See, okay, so there's a few things going on in my brain of options that are going through my head. I could try to trap it. Another option that Use Magic has is communicate with a creature that speaks another language, which I thought was interesting. When you said listen, or it's trying to, it could be saying some words. And yeah, I think I'm so I guess my question to Mars is it when the creature is screaming, is it, and the guy's mouth is moving, is it just that we can't hear what he's saying, or are they speaking in a different language?
Like, for the purposes of this scenario, like, you can't hear it, but also I think this spell, with this spell, you'll be able to like focus on it, and you also get the feeling that like this guy is kind of encased in this thing's body,
Mhm.
and so when he speak when this guy appears to be speaking, like, you guess that even if the creature wasn't yelling, like, it's his voice is impeded by creature
Mhm.
flesh. So I'm gonna say, like, basically for the purposes of the spell, it's like it's basically a combination of like do one thing beyond human limitations, which is like hear this thing, and then also just like the language one.
Okay,
So I'm gonna say
so
basically you can communicate with it if you succeed.
okay, so the question is, do I want to get a general vibe? It's gonna really suck if I communicate with this thing, and it's like, yo, dude, what the fuck? You just kill all my kids. Like, that'll really suck. Or we just keep blindly attacking this thing. Are the two questions that are going in my brain right now.
Hide your wife, hide your kids.
Yeah. Uh, so I'm just morbidly curious. So I wanna try to I want to try to understand this thing.
All right.
Oh dang! I rolled a 5 and a 6. Plus my 5, 6, 11 plus my 2 weird 13.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to communicate with something that I do
All
not share the
right.
same language with.
I think you kind of focus in on this face that's sort of in this thing's like flank, and you focus on like the way this guy's mouth is moving, and you basically hear him sort of in your head but also sort of out loud, and it sort of sounds like a double talk, or like a double speak, where it's layered on top of each other, and this creature goes, I I have uh uh I have answered the call.
Oh, okay, interesting. I speak back at it in its own language. Is it someone nice? Who are you calling? Is it someone nice?
I am just here to answer.
I like to imagine it's like, to everyone else, they see this like giant wet Mothman gorilla bear thing, and going like, "Ah!" And then Philip going like, "Ah!"
Yeah. Yeah.
And so anyway, so Philip goes and is like, okay, so it says it's calling it has a cellular device. It's been calling people.
is it going to continue hunting the people of this area?
Hold on. Ah!
And
I ask it that.
it says, these are the perfect hunting grounds, full of creatures with powers to disguise, and so many people, and so many feelings, and so hungry.
Are you saying that the Mothman was here, but this creature ate the Mothman?
Dang.
Uh-oh.
That monster.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're
so-
definitely killing this thing.
Okay, so quickly, update. It says definitely will keep killing people. That seems to be a non-negotiable thing.
That's all I needed to hear.
Okay, cool. So start doing your little slashy, stabby, shooty thing, and let's get this going.
I already
Fig?
started.
Yeah, Fig, go ahead.
Yeah. Can I shoot it?
Go right ahead.
Cool. Well, I can certainly try.
Snake
Uh,
eyes. The snake
So
eyes.
hear me out. Here's my bargaining. So for read a bad situation, if you act on the answers, you get a
Oh.
+1 ongoing while the information is relevant. So I asked you, Mars, what the biggest threat was, and you said that it was this big creature.
Mhm.
Can I have a +1?
Yeah.
Very cool. I rolled a 7.
Okay.
All right. As much
Wait.
as I would have.
Have any of us used luck in this
No,
campaign?
I thought about this because
No,
I
not
because
yet.
in my other Monster of the Week game, my keeper is like hell bent on making us use our luck, and I thought about that, and we have never used luck in the entirety of Turntables RPG.
No,
I
we
think
don't
we used
know.
one luck.
We have definitely used luck in all of it.
Yeah.
But like I'm
When
asking
did
for
we use
this
one
specific
luck?
campaign.
That's what
Apophis.
turned their
I
sun
want to
red.
say that. I
Oh,
want
the
to
red
say
moon.
I want to
Red
say
sun.
Anne used luck at some point too.
We've used it like
But for
not a
something-
lot, but like a couple of times.
Anne used it for something that was like not game changing. It was just something that like morally or ethically I would have felt bad if it was a failure or something. But I feel like I used one for Anne. But
Okay.
Yeah,
um,
Apophis used it to, I think, keep holding up the train or
Yeah.
lift up the train so that Chuck
It
and
wa-
Anne could recover.
It was
Teddy's.
a piece of the train. Yeah, because we were
mhm. Thank you for
Yeah.
reminding me of emotional trauma.
Yeah.
Emotional damage.
Emotional
Emotional damage.
Anywho,
Okay.
Yeah,
so
and
anyway.
that's how the
let's
sun
make
went
some new
red.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a 7 for kick some ass.
All right. How much harm is that?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
So I'm using my bolt action rifle, which is 4 harm, far, loud, reload, and slow. And because I'm using my siren bone ammo, it also has the tags magic and restraining. I
Mhm.
can't remember what we determined that the magic part of the tag does.
It just overcomes any kind of resistance.
Yeah.
That like
Yeah,
where
it,
you like
it counts
need
as
magic.
magical damage.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then restraining.
Yeah.
So
I think you fire into this thing and it like it hits it sort of in the shoulder across from where the guy's face is, and the creature seems to like shudder almost, but instead of it being like a physical shudder where it's moving everything, it seems to almost be like its flesh is moving, and kind of sends a ripple sort of out from that spot.
What does
And
the restraining tag do?
I think it just
What it sounds like. I can't
Yeah.
remember what the exact verbiage is in the book, but it like
Like, is it like
It
they
is-
can't move at all, or like they can't
'Cause
move like fit? Like, can
the-
they still move their arms?
The way I ran it is that it pinned the creature like into the ground, right? Like it like hit like a body part, pierced through, and then pierced into the ground, or something along those lines.
it may have
But,
been
like,
a wall or something, but
yeah.
like, and it wasn't permanent. It
Yeah.
was like, for a brief period of time. I kind of read it as similar to like trap a monster or whatever tag for use magic, which is that like it'll work, but probably not indefinitely.
Yeah.
That it's like, yeah, that it's pinned but not unable to move.
Right.
yeah. And I think it's sort of like this sort of front leg, front shoulder, like sort of collapses down, and you see like a selection, more kind of this slime and goop like move towards it, to try and maybe like reinforce it or patch it up. But for right now, it at least cannot move itself because this front leg is severely damaged. But I think it's gonna try and you're like a good ways away. I think it is going to take like a chunk out of this nest that is on fire and sort of like throw it in your direction.
Uh-oh.
Oh god.
And it's like a big creature. It doesn't have
The goop fights back.
Yeah, the goop fights back, but it doesn't have like very precise aim. But it does kind of catch the like fallen leaves and tinder and stuff on the ground, sort of near you, in front of you. So it's like it's not an immediate threat, but that could become a problem very quickly.
So they threw the goop, but it didn't hit Fig.
No, it
Okay.
didn't hit Fig.
Okay.
Well, you know what this situation could use? More fire.
I was thinking the same thing.
So yeah, I guess I will set more fire to things, to the creature specifically, so we'll just keep going with that. Unless anyone else wants to do anything, by the way. Unless like Cole or Arthur want to go up and start hacking and slashing.
Go ahead and burn.
Okay.
Cole is already up front. He's currently on the ground in slime.
I won't say anything. Oh, it fell. Okay, so that is a 5 and a 3. So that is 8 plus my 2 weird is a 10. So it's just 3 harm.
All right. Sounds good. So, you set this thing, you aim a fireball at this thing, and or you breathe fire? You aim a fireball?
Hey, you know,
Breathe
I
into
sometimes
a fireball and
Yeah.
Philip pukes fire onto his hand and throws it.
Something like that. And it catches the back of this creature like a light, and it
pop the pustule. Pop the pustule.
it does, and this like horrible scorpion tail like lashes out at you.
Yeesh.
And do you have armor?
Me, no.
Okay. It
At least I don't
hits
think I
you.
do. I don't think I do.
Yeah, it like hits through like one of the fun fun and cool and fleshy parts of your body.
Yeah.
Actually, Keeper, can I roll protect someone?
Yes.
I figured just because like I'm at a high, like a slightly higher elevation, if I see the tail striking out, I can get in the
Yeah.
way.
Sounds good.
So that's plus tough. Okay. So that is 6 plus 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So it mixes
right.
this.
Can I help?
Yeah.
Like we're gonna
How are you
conga line
helping?
in front of a bullet here. This thing is swinging a tail above me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna stick my axe into its tail, like
Alright.
not really to do damage, but to throw it off.
Mm-hmm. And you have the magical help thing, right?
I have the power of heart.
Okay, yeah. That's what it's called, not the magical help
So-
thing.
Have a +1 since we're fighting a monster.
Yep. Arthur, choose something extra. You suffer little harm. All impending danger is now focused on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back.
I still take the damage, right? If I choose, just like in general.
Yeah, so you'll suffer some or all of the harm they were gonna get. I'll just yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you choose little harm.
Question, Keeper, if I wanted to pin the tail to the ground with my sword, would that be you hold the enemy back?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what I want to do.
All right. So you lash out with your sword to try and pin this thing down. And I think
I managed to catch it, but like the end of the scorpion tail is like piercing through my shoulder, probably.
yeah,
And
that would make sense. I think it was that you were not expecting Cole to help out. So even though Cole did help you out in the sense that the tail seemed to have like slowed down sort of, or like Cole seems to have maybe weakened some nerves. It kind of put it off course, and so now it's lodged in your shoulder. And so you take 2 harm.
cool. I have one armor because of battlefield awareness. So that's 1 point of harm.
All right. Sounds good. But Philip, you have lit this creature on fire, and it is burning a lot and fast, and it smells bad.
Old familiar memories.
Yeah. So there's not, I mean, unless we get a bunch of failed rolls in a row, there's probably not too much of this creature left. Like, looking at it, it does not look great. It's on fire. It's got nasty, it's looking nasty. So do we want to finish that up before we take our break, or just take break now?
Let's go ahead and just take that break, I think.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. So we'll be back in 10 minutes, y'all.
Yep.
If you have been waiting for your snack check, apologies. Hopefully you still have some of it left.
Yep.
But we will
I
be
forgot
back.
to look at the clock.
No, you're fine. We all did. It's okay. So we'll be back at like 50 after the hour or 10 before the next hour.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon.
And bye-bye. We're back.
We're back. I'm gonna read it anyway. my post-it note for my mystery, just, spoilers. Old Sea Magic, Lord of the Rings Marathon, Catboy Beckham Mystery, White Bridge Monster Fucker, Catboy Formal, Haunted Sim Card. Not sure if that one's related.
Interesting.
Wow.
Anyway,
I can't wait for
tune in
Beckham
2
to
weeks
make
from
his
now
reappearance.
for my mystery, which is going to be Catboy themed, and also phones haunted.
I can't believe Sir Bartholomew Beckham, fan favorite character from season 1, will make his return next mystery as a Catboy.
Weird shit happens in the gorge that you fall down in and
Yeah.
are questionably alive.
Yeah.
You never know. I watch
Schrodinger's
enough action
Beckham.
movies.
Anyway,
Yeah. Burning goop monster.
burning goop monster. Goop monster is on fire.
Or
and-
actually, snack check, I suppose.
oh
I have
yeah,
to say,
that's very
damn.
important.
So then go. Somebody go.
I
Who's
had
ready?
I had a little ice cream sandwich thing with I think it was coffee ice cream, and then those
Uh-oh.
brittle brownies. They're like chips, but they're also brownies instead of the soft ice cream.
I know what you're talking about. Brittle?
Yeah. And that was good. And then I ate it before stream, so I didn't have to worry about it melting all over. Yeah, brownie bark.
Brownie bark.
I have never had brownie bark, but it sounds delicious.
It's really good. It's got the flavor of brownie, but the crunchiness of really crunchy chocolate chip cookies, sort of, is very good.
I prefer my brownies to be as soft as possible. Give me a brownie that I
little
have to
gooey.
eat with a spoon, and
Brownies-
I'll be happy.
I agree.
Yes, brownies
That's
fresh
super
out of the
valid.
oven with ice cream on top of it
I
with a spoon.
have I told you guys I don't have this right now, okay?
Mhm.
So there's no jealousy to be had. But did I tell you guys that Trevor learned how to make caramel? Just
yes, you
stovetop,
did. You
he
did.
knows how to make
you have
caramel.
mentioned this.
And so we were making brownies from a box the other day, and he was like, "Oh, I'll just whip up some caramel to put in it." And then he drizzled caramel into it, and then we baked them. And then I had to be eaten with a spoon because there was so much caramel that it was just not possible for it to retain its shape very well.
hmm
That sounds so good.
It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was. It was really.
Look, guys, I have a hot take, if you will. I
Uh-oh.
don't like putting ice cream on brownies, cake, and nothing. I like ice cream in its own place.
Interesting.
I think that that's valid because if you're not a fast eater like me, then you end up with warm ice cream and cold brownie, and that's not the vibe.
Yeah.
Yes. My opinion is I just don't like soggy things. Because usually the ice cream melts and then it's a very wet pastry, whatever
Then
it
if
is.
you have chocolate ice cream and brownie, then you have soggy, soft brownie.
But it's cold soggy.
Yeah, I
that's
don't.
fair.
I
Cold-
don't. Yeah,
cold
I don't.
soggy,
I
cold
don't
wet.
want I don't want what the ice cream's giving me.
It's different when the moisture comes from within. You know?
True.
I think the solution is just
that's-
eat it quickly.
So, what do you have?
Mamas can't do that.
What are you putting in your mouth today?
I have the last leftover piece of the Batman calzone that I bought this weekend.
Ah, damn it! How was it? Did it fill you with vengeance?
It was good.
What is a Batman calzone?
It's
Calzone.
The
Calzone.
Batman calzone from
From
Little Caesars.
Yeah.
We talked about this. My brain just completely malfunctioned when you told me that there was Batman themed Italian American food.
I
I was
almost ordered one this weekend.
It was-
on Monday. I went to go get one, so I would also have leftovers today. Not Monday, on Sunday. Sunday I went to get one, and they told me that they never got it at my Little Caesars. They
Right.
never
Oh.
had it,
Wow.
Hard.
which was
I wanted to go on
That
Friday before I went to go see the Sonic movie, but the person I saw the Sonic movie with doesn't like Little Caesars.
Hmm.
And also,
Well,
we
you
went
go
to
just for
Panera.
the Batman calzone.
They have just texted me saying they would burn it immediately.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Also,
it
hello,
was
B.
it was good. I think I probably wouldn't order it again, but it was good. Did I feel extremely guilty after eating it? Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
But in the moment,
I just imagine consuming it and instantly being possessed by the ghost of Robert Pattinson.
I did eat it while listening to something in the way.
That's
by
good.
Nirvana.
That's the only way to
If it
eat
makes
it,
you
I
feel
hear.
any better, yeah.
I just like re-unlocked the memory of. Sorry, not all of us were a part of this, but at Gen Con, when we went to that drive-through Italian place and we got like the soggiest,
Fazoli's,
wettest breadsticks, and it's like a traumatic memory, those breadsticks, man.
I
They were
can't-
so much.
It lives in a dark recess of my mind.
It's honestly it's a good memory because all of Gen Con is just a good memory in my brain. But like
We still-
the sheer chaos of that drive through, man. Who else has snacks? I don't have a snack. I think this might be a first for snack check.
Whoa.
But Trevor will be delivering me some dinner when it's finally ready.
Oh, okay. Fazoli's does slap. It's true.
Sid, those breadsticks, the bread. I will say the breadsticks were inundated. Like I will say, like I've had.
I had no structural integrity. My actual food I enjoyed, but I remember pulling one of them out of the package and squeezing it, and just the oil like coming out of it and being like, ooh.
Yeah. They
It was also
forgot
like
to give me food.
they did. They forgot your food entirely.
They did. I
Yeah.
feel really bad about them.
I survived.
Yeah, it was also like 10 p.m. or
Yeah,
something.
there was
like
one
it was
person
just
working.
Yeah.
one man in the entire Fazoli's.
And then like when we left, there was a line of like 7 cars behind us. So it was like, oh, I feel bad. I feel real bad.
Yeah. Anyway, Creature
Dustin,
on
what
Fire.
do you have?
Oh wait, yeah, Dustin.
The jerky.
I have Mingy jerky again.
I said it as we were all getting up to go, but they released like Beyond Meat beef jerky, and so it's like vegetarian beef jerky, and it's dopamine. I
gotta
love
try it.
beef jerky. I've been vegetarian for like 6 years. I got it at Walmart, and I ascended to another plane of existence. Anyway, that's all.
Also, from our audience, I know that Bartleby had. Hold on, I gotta pull it up because he posted a picture. Bartleby had a chicken jalapeno flatbread panini that looks divine.
Yeah.
And Crackety made chocolate hummus, which sounds dope as hell. Hit me with the recipe, please.
Are there still chickpeas in chocolate hummus?
Well, if not, then it's just chocolate sauce.
True. Good
Gamer
point.
moment.
So there better be. There better be.
Creature on fire?
Mm-hmm.
Fire creature. It's on fire. It is doing a scream. And the base in its flank is mouthing words.
I also still have it pinned down.
Yes, and it is the tail is pinned down, and it's kind of stunned. It's not moving because like its main body is also not moving because of the restraining tag on Fig's bullets.
Is it saying anything interesting in its final moments?
Not really. It's a lot of just like words that don't make sense to you. like uh yeah, just like seemingly calling other creatures or like saying names or something, but you don't understand any of the names.
Wacky.
It's uh trying to, yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of talking about how like it this was like the perfect like feeding grounds, and how there is so much in this woods that has that it has learned about and now copy, uh and so it feels like it's unfair that it is dying now.
Okay, cool. And so just so I can understand thoroughly, because I might be about to do some fucked up shit. Um,
Huh.
so you're saying this guy, this corpse, if you will,
Mhm.
is inside the creature, like, or is he like absorbed into it? Like, is he like? I just want a general vibe of like, is it like a kangaroo sack situation, or is it like he's a part of the creature kind of situation?
It's like his body is absorbed, it is like being absorbed, and but sort of in a kind of overlaid with like a fleshy, like clear layer. His head and shoulders basically have not been fully absorbed.
And
Okay, cool.
is the body intact inside, or is it being digested?
It looks like it's just like molding into this creature.
Like
Like
like say for the sake of the argument, uh, I was to float on over above the creature, and bring this corpse back to life, and make it rip itself out of its being. Would you let me do that?
yes, but mostly just because I think that's awful and sick and I love it.
Okay, cool. So Philip stares at this corpse. I think he's been staring at this corpse that's been hanging out of this body for a while, and I think he like looks down sort of shamefully as the dark voices scream inside his mind, and he rises up and starts floating over the creature, and positions himself over as he like rolls back his sleeve, and I guess he just like scratches his arm, uh, and his dark goopy blood drips into the creature's mouth as he starts chanting his magic words, as
All
I cast
right.
my rote necromancy.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, cool. I rolled a 5 and a 3, plus my 2 weird is a 10.
All
So
right.
that's the best thing. That's the best thing that can happen. The target is revived and partially sentient, can do menial tasks, and you may ask it one question and get one straight answer. Will die in 24 hours. Uh, I just tell that guy to rip itself out of there.
All right. I think
What
you
an
see this
interesting menial task.
Yes.
yeah. I think you kind of see this guy like sort of blink, and then like start struggling. I don't even think you have to like tell this guy to get out of there, because like self-preservation is an instinct that people have. Um and even if those people are corpsey zombie guys, raised to death by a horrifying skeleton man who's just very friendly, that's still like a thing that most creatures want to do.
Mhm.
And so it like you hear this thing like actually start to scream now, like a human scream, as opposed to this thing uh
God.
uh like the creatures scream, and it starts to like sort of its head and shoulders are kind of the only things that haven't been absorbed yet. So its shoulders start like moving, kind of going back and forth as if to try and like pry itself off. um and it starts like basically tearing through this outer like layer of kind of flesh that has covered over it. And it is the creature is like it's like it doesn't know what to do. So this creature clearly has some like animal instinct, but also has some control over like its flesh and how it molds and forms and stuff. And so it looks like the creature is trying to like move its flesh to sort of encase this guy back, but like this has never happened to this thing before. And I think it as this creature is like melting and this guy is like tearing himself out of it, the creature itself kind of collapses to the ground, and the guy is like also on the ground kind of wriggling, but like basically anything below like his torso is like absorbed creature, so he can't like detach himself.
I think as this sort of happens and the revived corpse is wailing and the creature is like screaming out in agony, I think Philip is still floating in the air, just looks up and says, "Finally, silence."
Aren't they still screaming?
That's so fun of him. Yeah, this creature is...
Yeah, no, just keep going. That's all I gotta say.
The creature itself seems to have died. This guy is still undead, and trying to tear himself off, but he can't because he's like part of this creature. Like if you've seen the Thing movie where like the dog is kind of part of the creature, but
Spoilers.
also like, yeah.
Oh.
Spoilers. But yeah, it's sort of like that.
Arthur's going to release the tail, and kind of like pull out the scorpion sting from his shoulder, walk over and decapitate the corpse.
That's super valid, and there's no reason for you to roll. This thing can't move.
Is it still screaming?
I mean, it screams until you cut its head off.
Okay, cool.
I assume that, like, I don't know how Philip's necromancy would work, but I have to assume that, like...
Yeah, a basic zombie rules. As long as you destroy the brain, I think we're good.
Oh, it's not that. I was just, like, detaching it from the source of air that's allowing it to scream.
Oh, yeah. It might still be alive, but it definitely has lost the ability to scream.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to kill the zombie, because also my sword is not magic. It's just a sword. So I don't know what all goes into killing a zombie, but I think Arthur was just trying to stop the screaming. What's the fire look like?
Pretty big. This thing is on fire. The nest is on fire and kind of has spread out a little bit. The fire that was in front of Fig is getting larger. I think one of the dead trees nearby has kind of caught alight.
Did it not help that it was like kind of like in its own like little fire pit though, or was the fire just kind of like that raging that?
It like helped a little bit. But when the thing threw goop at the fire goop at Fig, like it helped it. It has escaped the goop pit. So the tree is like, you could probably spend some time putting it out, but also like I think the more important or more notable thing is like the smoke is really bad. Like it's mixing with the fog and like it hurts to kind of be around here. But I think you could, like, that looks very good.
Macaroni and cheese with the chicken strips.
Do it. You gotta finish it. There we go. Thank you.
pesto pasta, chicken, and garlic bread.
Nice.
Dude, that sounds real good.
Fog and smoke.
Fog and smoke. Mixing,
Fine.
breathing it, bad. The tree that has caught a light is like a smaller tree, so you could probably like cut it down and just kind of like stamp on it a bunch of times.
We need to do something about the fire.
Right.
You have an axe.
What do you want me to do? It attack the fire with an axe?
Cut down the tree.
Okay. Cole will cut down the tree.
All right, I'm gonna have you roll act under pressure, and this is gonna be kind of for all the fire setting out, not just like chopping down the tree.
Cool. Cool. So that's 6.
Total?
Yeah.
Okay, Arthur's gonna help out.
All right.
I think the idea is that while he's hacking at the tree, Arthur's going to attempt to like kick the tree because it's a smaller tree, right? So like he's gonna attempt to kick it into the pit, rather than let it like fall elsewhere in the forest. So,
All right.
help out. Lovely. Okay, so that is a 6 and a 3, which is a 9, and I have a +1 to cool, which makes it a 10.
All
So
right.
it helps them +1 to their roll.
All right. So, I think, you kick this tree in, and you are kind of trying to put out the fire, and I guess Cole, your price to pay is, I think you have to get a little, like, you have to kind of move your hands up on the axe and get closer to the fire than you would like, and you get some burns as you're trying to put out this fire, and so you take 1 harm,
Ow.
but that you basically get everything into this big pit, and then I imagine cover it up with some dirt or somehow just maybe just stamp on it a bunch of times. Stomp on it, not stamp on it.
Is the fire like at a level in which we can stamp it out, or do we need like Philip to intervene with magic?
I think like combining like dirt on the ground and just like the fire fuel that a lot of this fire was using was
The goop.
the goop, and I think a lot of that is gone now, so I think it's kind of dying out. You'll probably need to throw some dirt on the log, but it gets to a point where you can just stomp on it. I imagine maybe there's like a small creek nearby, or Fig has a canteen or something.
I heard there was a well around here somewhere. That's gonna have water in it, right?
Ugh.
Well, I've heard actually it just has fog.
God
Well,
damn
fog
it.
is just water, but in the air.
That's true.
Yeah, Fig probably has.
Like a shovel.
This is metagamey, but yeah, Fig. Well, I don't know if she'd have a shovel, but she'd probably honestly have like a little bag of sand, and a bottle of water, because you're supposed to like cover it with sand so that it can't.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fig would be helping.
Right. Yeah, I figured so. So I think just in the effort of all of you working together, you are able to put out this fire. And it takes you some time, and Fig has pocket sand. She's got a little jar of dirt.
I've got a jar of dirt.
There it
I
is.
found a bag, and I cleaned my room this weekend, and I found a bag that was just labeled "bag of dirt," and it just had dirt in it, which feels very me.
I mean, makes sense.
Anyway, it takes you a while, and it's fully dark now. The woods are dark, the fog is thick, and you hear kind of the rumbling of like faraway thunder. Um, I think it's one of those like a thunderstorm, but not a lightning storm. That's what it's called, where it just thunders and lightnings and it doesn't rain. Uh,
Is it so dark that we cannot see one another?
I mean, Philip glows slightly, and I imagine Fig has some sort of like at least like a pocket flashlight. Um,
Fig's got a headlamp, baby. There's no way she
oh,
doesn't.
incredible. She yeah. So with the help of that light, you can see. And then just if you were to turn all of those lights off, I think it would be pretty dark. And there's clouds like moving over the moon and the stars and stuff, so the vision kind of comes and goes, but like you could probably still see each other at least a little bit. But it's dark and you have to get out of this forest unless you're just gonna like indefinitely camp.
What is the status of like the eggs and the body? Like, are they all just kind of burnt down now? Is there still like a man's head visible somewhere? I'm not inclined to just like leave a head in the woods, you know?
Yeah, I think like the body of the creature started like kind of decomposing into goop. Uh and the most of the nest was on fire, and has burnt out, including any eggs. You kind of search through where the goop was and where the nest was, and you can't find any eggs. Uh, this guy, yeah, there is just like a head though. The body, the part that was attached to the body of the creature seems to like also be kind of disintegrating into goo, but like the head part that was cut off, it seems to just be like a cold grayish head.
So the torso is still gooping?
Yeah.
Well, Fig is gonna pull out a jar or a plastic bag or something and scoop some of the goop into it.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Not where I thought we was going.
Yeah, I also thought she was gonna put the head in there.
Um,
Ziploc
normally,
the head.
this would be a great time to use my move, use the whole buffalo, where I could craft the remains into something useful.
Mhm.
But I feel like that's a little disrespectful to the man who's just died. But she's just gonna hold on to the goop to see if, I don't know, it's good to have pocket goop.
Mm-hmm. It's always good to have pocket goop. That's one of my life lessons.
Rat. So
Is anybody carrying the head?
where are we taking it?
Because it's still alive, right?
That is a Philip decision.
Because it's alive for 24 hours, and so
Yeah, it's
even
alive
though
for
it can't
24 hours
speak or
unless you-
scream,
Yeah, unless you destroy the
Jesus
brain.
Christ.
That's horrifying.
There's like there is the question that I haven't decided of whether or not like the thing that I bring back to life has a soul. It's able to access memories. I don't know.
Hmm.
That's not. I haven't decided that yet. But yes, the head is still technically like sentient, so I guess it could like move its mouth up and down.
and its eyes.
Yeah. It can
Yeah,
bite.
looking around maybe if there's still eyes in there.
Hate it.
Yeah.
I think Philip's just been staying in the air for most of this, and then floats back down, and takes a deep breath, and is just sort of like, "Ooh, okay, are we going home now?"
Well, we can't exactly take a dead man's head home with us.
Oh, uh, I don't know. I mean, I could take him home. I could name him Philip Jr. the second.
Philip, you know he's going to just die tomorrow.
I know, but I don't like to think about it. Maybe this one will be different.
Why did you bring it back?
I don't know.
You could have just burned it. You could have just let one of us attack it.
I just thought I would help. I don't know.
Death is a sacred thing.
Well, talking about it's not helping us with the current situation, which is that we have a currently moving head
Well, that's
of
the
a
thing.
man.
We don't talk about anything. We ran into this forest without a plan. Cole just ran off without a plan. We almost set a forest on fire because we didn't have a plan.
You're preaching to the choir. I wanted to make a plan. I'm not the one who fucking ran into the forest just willy-nilly, but I don't know.
Arthur,
Philip, I think this is your problem. You made this head. It's your problem to deal with now. Sorry, Saul, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. Arthur's gonna turn to Cole and he's gonna say, "You can't just run into these kinds of situations. You can take care of yourself. You can use that axe, but you will get yourself hurt."
For what I knew, someone was in danger. And so what was I going to do? Spend however long it would take us to research what this thing is, find out where it's staying, be able to hunt it, probably be advised to wait until daytime so we could see everything. Yes, in this case, it turned out to not matter. But most of the time, minutes do.
I agree.
And then what?
You're a man of action. I respect that. Action without planning can get people killed. Me and Fig, we're not. And he kind of like gestures to Philip. You are also not. And he gestures to Philip. And he says, we are meat and bone. Without a plan, we can die. And then who's going to help that person?
And if we're too late?
We were this time, even with your action.
Well then, what's your plan with the head?
Like Fig said, Philip brought it back, Philip gets rid of it.
But not at Cole's apartment.
Yeah, see, that's kind of where I was thinking is going to happen.
I think Philip at this point has picked up Philip Jr. the second and is sort of like cradling it like a child.
Now, does anyone remember their way out?
Well, if I had a nickel for every time I got lost in the forest.
I'm sure I can figure it out. Are we leaving? Is that the plan?
I guess so, unless you want something else to do.
Here's the thing, is like, Philip is the equivalent to a glow stick, light-wise. And we have a narrow headlamp beam to light the way. And so I wonder...
I could, like, fly up and, like, try to see the easiest way out of here, I guess.
Like, through the canopy?
Like, yeah, I guess I could just fly up and like point in a direction, and you guys can look up too and sort of follow me. I don't know.
I think the trees are kind of thick.
Okay.
So like you could probably fly up and then come back
And then
down.
come back down, and then okay, I could do that.
It's weird to hear Saul speak to Philip directly.
Yeah.
So I just want to say you're such a lovely person.
Thanks, Philip. Jury's still out on you, but
Thanks, Philip. You go off some weird vibes. Most of the time I'm like, yeah, Philip. And then the other
Yeah.
half of the time I'm like, oh my god, I'm an abomination of nature.
I just got lost in the character. Oh no. Yeah, I mean I can fly up, yes. Unless of course Mars is like, no, you cannot fly up because of magical forces, which is valid.
I think you can fly up, but I think like this forest is big and you were walking for like a good while. So it's gonna take some like, okay, which way, like fly in one direction for a bit and see if like you can see any sort of like road or the hospital or anything. I think the trees and this is kind of like a mountainous region, so the mountain and everything sort of block, like if you were to fly up right now, you couldn't see any like lights or anything. It just looks like forest in every direction, so it would take some trial and error.
Okay, Philip flies back down and is like, okay, kind of hard to get a perspective.
If you want to, I'm not sure if like Fig would prefer to like retrace steps basically, but if you want to do the Philip flying method, it would just take an act under pressure roll, I think, from Philip, of like how
I know that
good
it
can
might-
he navigate.
This might not count anymore because the scene has technically changed.
Mhm.
Would I still have one hold for read a bad situation?
Uh,
Kind of a new situation, but
yeah, I guess would you be wanting to ask what's the best way out?
maybe.
I think it doesn't as much apply here because you found the nest, and so like the best way out of the nest is just to like there's
Start
part of the
walking.
forest that's like less brush area, I guess, but like yeah, just
I just realized
it's not gonna help with the whole forest.
my mic was off, so I don't know how long it's been off, but it's possible that it's been off since we got back. So nobody heard any of what Arthur just said.
Oh,
or anything of that nature. For those watching, apologies for that. I just noticed it now. Arthur was basically just chewing out the group for being like, why are we running into things? We need a plan. If we get hurt, there's nobody who can save people. Also, it was I think his first time seeing Philip ever bring someone back. So probably freaked out from that as
Yeah.
well. But yeah, just
Fig has seen it and does not care for it. But at least the first time was in a controlled environment. A morgue.
Ah yes, the controlled environment of the morgue.
At least it was indoors.
Yeah, the second morgue is lawless though.
Yeah. No rules at the second morgue. Morgue 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Mhm. All right, so Fig, are you gonna try and track, or are we gonna go the Philip method?
So my tracking move is technically like tracking a creature or monster in particular. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess I could try to like reverse track. But I don't know
think-
if it would actually apply here. It's a kind of
I
at your
think, like-
discretion, Keeper.
I mean, you guys are creatures, and so I think you could reverse track like the path you took, basically.
We're just weird little creatures.
I'm happy to try. It is when you find a spot where a monster has been, you may look for a trail. Roll plus sharp. Yeah. I mean, the monster was here and it is reverse.
Mhm.
If I'll try. I will try it. I rolled a 6, but +3 sharp is a 9. So I get to hold 2. And as a reminder for the folks at home, my tracking move hold can be spent to follow the trail some distance, determine how long ago it was here, identify how many there are, how fast it was moving, an idea of how big it is. We're gonna go with the one that makes the most sense, which is follow the trail, reverse trail some distance.
Yeah. I think you follow the trail a good a distance, but like it. Yeah, like yes, it's dark, and yes, you are trying to follow your way back, and like that in itself is confusing, and you are tired and somewhat beaten up, so you know you would be slower, but like it feels like you are walking for a very long time. And there are definitely parts where like you get turned around and realize you're kind of walking in circles, and it like there are multiple times where you just kind of have to stop and like you feel like the fog has like thickened to the point where like you can't think, like it feels like a literal brain fog. And so there are times where you just have to like sit and think, and I think like at times as you're walking through this forest, the four of you like get like these feelings of like eeriness or like almost like fear. But I think Philip, I think it's a little different for you. I think it's like less of a fear and more of an excitement. But I think you eventually work your way out of the forest, and you burst through the tree line. That's a lot more excited and energetic sounding than I imagine you actually do. I guess you probably more stumble out of the tree line, and you're in a different place than like you entered the trees near the White Bridge Hospital, but you're sort of on the side of like the road that goes from Fogwell to White Bridge, and Fig, you're not sure, like you should have tracked yourself back to where you started. Why are you here? But you're out of the woods and you know where you are, so you don't think too much about it.
Also, we did notice that we did get a $10 notification like about 11 minutes ago. The message says Pocket Goop. So, thank you, Anonymous, for your $10 donation.
Delicious.
Very good.
Delicious. Fry that up.
I also
put that on
don't
some
know
pancakes.
if we actually read the other most recent one out, which was another, I think, $10 donation. $10
Wow.
anonymous donation that was like hot. Can I eat first?
We did say that. I remember because I remember saying that
one
specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, made me laugh.
Because I think it was during Scarlet Hollow.
It would have been during Scarlet Hollow.
Yeah. Though I can't just start describing every time I give you a hot or not a hot choice, hard choice. I'll just be like, here's the hot option. Here's the keen eye option.
Hot, keen eye.
Here's the question option. What is it? Explore option.
So we're out.
Yes, you're out. You're out of the woods. This is like the opposite of that musical. That was a...
Honestly,
The
I
worst
hoped we would have
joke.
seen Meryl Streep, but she's not here.
And I imagine you can fairly easily like follow this road up to Whitebridge. Um, but are you guys talking along the way? Are you if you like to RP any of that, or we can just get you back to town.
I think Arthur's gotten quiet, and I think he's just kind of like moping, I guess.
Cole has also gone quiet. Uncharacteristically so.
Fig is characteristically very quiet, and I think
That leaves
spends
one.
the time and spends the time that we go back like cleaning the extra goop off her blade and off of herself. So
I think Philip is characteristically not quiet, and I think he's humming, like 100 bottles of beer on the wall.
And I'm sure
but I
that's
think he's
really
doing, like,
fun for everyone else in the party.
100. I can't think of a fun thing to replace for bottles of beer. I was 100 little bones on the wall. 100 little bones. Take one down, pass them around.
100 bags of
99
goop on the
little
wall.
bones on the wall, and so that's what he's saying.
And everyone loves that you've provided them a soundtrack.
You're welcome. The Turntables EDP is coming out any day now.
Yeah, this is our musical episode. And the rest of the episode is just Chris as Philip singing 99 Little Bones on the Wall.
On the wall, 99 little bones.
Arthur has
Take
also
one down.
been clutching his wound this entire time.
I think at some point Philip stops and is like, "Do you want me to heal that?"
I think Arthur just keeps on walking.
The best buddy. Do you want? Did they hurt your ears? "98 little bones on the wall. 98 little bones."
Imagine you get through the song probably 1.5 times in your forest walk, and I think by the end you all, the rest of you who have not been singing 99 Little Bones on the Wall, look even more ragged than you would have just given the events of the nights. And you make it out. I think you walk back to Cole's van at Cole Van Helsing, that is parked up at the hospital, and you drive into town, and it's like 2 a.m, so I think you probably all just go to bed, unless you're gonna go check out something at 2 a.m. I think you all go to bed, and
Well, Arthur has to, unless they drop him off at the motel, Arthur's gonna walk back to the motel.
I think we would offer to drop him back. Do you think, Cole, or is Cole now offended?
I don't think Cole is offended so much as like now scared. Like his confidence is shaken at this point. Like he's contemplating himself right now and thinking, maybe I'm not the person for this. So
Are you wait? What?
I don't think he's mad at Arthur so much as like questioning himself. And so because of that, he's kind of turned inward. So I don't think that he offers so much as just drops Arthur off at the hotel. Like he just like absently pulls up to it and drops Arthur off.
Yeah.
I think Arthur, when you get to the motel, Ren is back and is passed out on the bed. I was gonna say you get a text from Ren, but you don't have a phone unless you've gotten one.
I don't know what we decided on that, to be honest. We can go ahead and just say like maybe he did bring it or he just didn't have it with him. But or characteristically, because it was a monster fight, it got smashed. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I think Arthur gets out of the van without saying anything, and kind of like, you ever close a door and you don't mean to slam it, but it kind of slams, and you feel like a little bad.
Yeah.
That happens to Arthur, but he just continues walking. And when he gets into the motel room, he sees Ren, lets out kind of like a long exhale, and then just kind of like begins like getting ready to go take a shower and kind of like begin wrapping up his shoulder.
Wash the monster goop off.
Correct.
All right. Fig, do we know where you've been living? Like,
Yeah. That's
That's a good question.
I've just always imagined Fig's just been camping out in the woods.
yeah,
That's kind of what I've
also
been
have.
imagining too, but maybe
Yeah.
that's not the vibe.
I mean, there could be like a campsite that she's just like staying at.
I think that there's a campground. Maybe it's like I wouldn't call it glamping, but maybe it's kind of like cabins, you know, that like, you know, there's like a communal shower, and like, you know, not really amenities per se, but it's not just like nasty.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, Fig prefers to keep to herself, and so she would probably be kind of out in the wilderness. I think that Fig, though, would probably want to talk to Miss Merrill tonight, or at the very least try,
All right.
while everything is fresh. If that is an option.
I mean,
I know
yeah.
we're nearing end time, so I don't want to...
No, that's a... I was either gonna have you do it tonight or this morning, so... Tonight or in the morning. It is the morning. It's 2 in the morning. But I think Cole would you let Cole know you're gonna do this, or would you have him drop you off at wherever you've been staying and then like walk?
I honestly, and this sounds so moody, but I feel like Fig would intend on going home for the night and then just like not be able to sleep, you know? Like there was some strife with her party members, and she just watched a man get decapitated and he was already dead, and it was just a whole thing. So I think that she would like probably closer to 3 in the morning, like walk into town and try to get to Miss Merrill's and see if she's awake for a chat and a cup of tea.
All right. I'm gonna ask Cole and Philip if you guys want to do anything, and then I think we'll end with Fig and Miss Merrill talking.
I think when we're like as we're driving back to Cole's apartment, I think Philip like nudges Cole and say, "Hey, don't let the things Arthur said get to you. Maybe he just had a bad lunch. I know he wouldn't mean to like say anything mean. I think he's a good person. I think we're all good friends, and you are definitely a good hero. You did what you thought was right, and I don't think that he can make you feel bad about that."
I think he's a good person too. And I don't know.
But you are also a good person. I want you to know that you're the best person I know.
Philip is quickly becoming that, from what I understand, the drunk girl at the bar, that's like in the bar bathroom at like 2 a.m. Like the super supportive.
I think that's been Philip's energy for a long time, except for when he's having voices issues.
And bringing things back from the dead, correct?
And bringing things... I mean, drunk girls in a bathroom are very powerful.
That is true.
See, it's funny. I was gonna say the same thing.
I assume.
From the stories I've heard, from legends of old.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just don't let it get to you.
His black mascara is running down his cheekbones.
It's just his dark blood.
Thanks, Philip. But that's all he says, and then he goes quiet again.
Yeah. And you drive off into the sunset. Just kidding. The sun has already set. It's very dark and late. But you get back to Cole's apartment and presumably go in and get ready for bed. And then we will cut back to Fig, who I think is wandering around the darkened streets, totally not creepily. Fig has great vibes and
Yep.
is very trusted by the town.
Yep,
Does Fig have her gun?
always.
Even better. Cool.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
know-
but it's like on her back. It's not. She's not.
Yeah,
like,
I know,
and
listen.
when I see someone walking down the street with a gun, I'm like, oh, at least it's on his
Oh my
back.
god.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
would.
I know that if I were out at 2 a.m. for whatever reason, like looking outside, and I saw the local person who lives in the woods with a gun on their back, just walking down the street.
It's not even a gun, it's a rifle. It's like it is
Yeah.
apparent right there on the back.
It's not. It's.
Who just the other
I'm
day
just saying, there's a
fired
reason
their
why
gun,
Chuck only carried around a
Hmm.
duffel bag.
God,
fired
yeah,
their
Fig's gonna
gun in
get,
the middle of town.
Fig is gonna get removed from the town.
Yeah, I don't know what open carry laws are in Washington.
I don't think it's good. I don't think it's this
You
open.
know, okay, listen. Some of us carry swords around in broad daylight. Okay,
That's also
So-
true.
I hide mine.
And some
Yeah,
of
okay.
us don't have skin.
But
So-
also,
I wear
Right.
fog hoodie.
in broad daylight is the key lines at this moment.
Yeah.
All right, Fig will have left her gun at her campsite. Does that make all of you happy?
No, that's
Until
not
you get
Fig's
attacked by a
character.
monster.
What are you talking about? Fig would
Yeah.
never leave her gun.
Yeah, you're right.
A third goopy Mothman.
My immersion is
I
broken.
bombs you.
Fig, I think that I think those guns can be like, I don't know. She probably has some kind of like case for it.
Yeah,
that
why
makes
not
it
just
look
get
less
just
like
why
a-
not just have a
Yeah, let's
bag?
concealed carry instead of open carry. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You go to the town and you're wandering
Thank
around.
you.
And it's totally not creepy at all. But good thing everyone's asleep, so you're not suspicious. Because it's 2 a.m.
Yep.
And do you first of all, I have a prop cigarette that I made for a
Nice.
display.
Oh,
So I
wow.
feel very
Man,
prepared to get in
This
character.
is. Damn
Hell
it!
yeah.
Now I have to make one so that I can be Meryl next week.
It's not hard, just like wrap a piece of paper around a pencil. That's what I did.
I just
Alright.
used a paintbrush.
Yeah, that's also an option.
I have a toothbrush. I use this for cleaning my phone, like the little cavities and stuff.
Very cool.
Mhm.
That's why I have a toothbrush at my desk, just so you guys know.
I have a toothbrush at my desk also, but it's to
Oh,
clean
then-
rocks off.
felt the need to explain myself.
Yeah, do you knock on the door, ring the doorbell?
Yeah, I am going to ring the doorbell. Don't I have Miss Merrill's phone number? Did she give it to me? She's gonna be asleep. I'm gonna wake up this poor old woman and she's not gonna like me anymore, and that's okay. Nah, I'll ring the doorbell.
Yeah, and I think like as you walk up to the stoop, her live not cat taxidermied cat kind of comes up to you and like you saw it in the window and then like it sort of is like it like phase shifted and is now outside and is like, you know, worming around your legs affectionately, like rubbing up against you, and you ring the doorbell. And you hear some knocking around, and Miss Merrill from inside go, oh god, I got the prop. I don't have the voice.
Mike
still.
Wazowski. Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike
Hey,
Wazowski.
hon.
Mike,
Hey, what's going
always
on?
watching.
Who is it?
Hey, what's going on?
Who is it? Why are you here? That's a little Joey Wheeler. That's fine.
That's all good.
That's valid.
We're all a little bit Joey Wheeler.
Maybe the real Joey Wheeler is the friends we made along the way.
Yeehaw cowboy or yeehaw cowboy time. It's Fig. I'm sorry to wake you up at this hour, Miss Merrill, but I don't know that this can wait.
That is also how I prep for Teddy as well.
Yeehaw cowboy time.
Yeehaw cowboy time.
I think it's just like quiet, and you hear some like bumping around, and then the door opens, and she's got like 6 locks, and so she opens up the door and like, you know, peer. Why would she peer through the crack? She cannot see. I think she like opens the door to like hear you better and says, "Fig, what are you?" And now I've just gone full Joey Wheeler. What?
What are they selling?
What are you selling?
Chocolate.
What are you? It's late at night. Why? What could be so important? God.
No, that was
I remember. I just feel like the two of us haven't been honest with each other, and this. I can come back in the morning, but I couldn't sleep, and part of me not being able to sleep is the information that's rattling around upstairs in my head.
that I love you.
Oh.
I think of only you.
Oh my god.
And I think she says, well, now you've got me interested. And she closes the door, and you hear her undoing all the locks and opens the door and says, all right, come inside. Do you want tea or just...
I'll take a cup of tea if you're offering. Your cat was outside, right?
He comes and goes. I keep him inside though, but he doesn't hunt birds and amphibians and harm native wildlife.
Gotta make sure
He's
you're
an indoor
not
cat,
that
but he gets
negligent
like
owner,
that.
right?
He only goes outside when it's important for plot narrative, and he, knows the future. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's very interesting how much he knows. Oh, I just wanted to chuck. Sad.
Yeah.
Miss Merrill. Earlier, yesterday, I guess, it seemed like you were made aware of something that was going on in town. And I saw that some of the stuff that you had left out, you started to put away. And then you had some kind of meeting that I wasn't privy to. I don't mean to be so forward about this, but I think that my friends and I may have just dealt with whatever it was that was going on, and so I feel like it's better for us to just speak plainly.
I think she kind of nods to herself and is like, yeah, I had a feeling you were gonna talk to me about this at some point. I know a lot about the goings on of the town, and I know if you're spending time with Cole, and you're from out of town and you're staying, you're here for a reason, and I think I get that reason. What'd you deal with tonight?
Some kind of creature that was making more of itself. Could change shape. It was real nasty, real goopy. And unfortunately, by the time myself and my friends got to it, it was too late for the man who had gone missing.
Well, I appreciate you taking care of it, but that doesn't sound like what I was expecting, but I'm glad to figure out it was dealt with. I appreciate having someone around the town who is familiar with this kind of work.
And what is it that you were expecting?
And she kind of like chuckles to herself and says, Fig, I have lived a long time and I've seen some strange shit. You ever seen Bigfoot? Knew Bigfoot for a while.
Damn it, I
Name's
wish I was
Eric.
Anne right now.
Yeah.
No, I haven't met Bigfoot. Sounds
Yeah.
like a personality, though.
Yep. His name's Eric, and you spell it AIRRICK. And he's a lovely guy. Haven't, you know, he's not the only creature I run into.
So
me and
you
the
were
Mothman
hoping.
have some history.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was gonna be him.
Well, for a minute it was, and then it wasn't. It was unsettling, to say the least.
Lots of things are.
Normally, I am not this forthcoming with this kind of information, but I don't know, Miss Merrill. I feel like keeping it to myself when you seem to know a lot is silly. But I think that if you ever have other things that I need to know, you should just come right out and tell me. I can take it. And I hate to say it, but this time around, Cole was involved.
Yeah, a lot of things get back to me. I had a feeling Cole, I had a feeling about you from the beginning, and I know Cole as a person, and I don't think you attract him. I think he finds you. And if my suspicions were right, and it sounds like they were, Cole, it's not surprising to me that Cole found you. Keep him safe, though. I don't. There's. He's just a kid, you know?
He's a good kid, at least.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Most of the time. Not all the time.
Well, thank you. I think I needed a little bit of decompression. I apologize. It was at the expense of your natural sleep cycle.
I haven't had a natural sleep cycle in years.
Mood.
Mood.
I mean, I was
Real.
asleep, but
Relatable.
God knows I can get right back to it, or I cannot sleep for days. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I'll let you try your chances, Miss Merrill, and I appreciate the honesty.
I appreciate you looking out for the town. My old bones, you know, they're not as spry as I once was. But Fogwell's a good place. Can attract some weird shit though.
Yeah, one last thing. The creature that we met with, one of my teammates said it spoke to him and said that it was answering some kind of call. Does that sound familiar to you at all?
it's not familiar necessarily. And I think at this point she's like taken out that really old set of tarot cards that was like on display and is just kind of shuffling around with them. Um and she's like, I don't know. I haven't heard anyone call. I mean, I get calls to the shop, but I haven't heard a call. But something in the air changed. Something in the way magic is around the town. Something's changed recently. And I don't know what it is, but it scares me, and so I'm glad you're here. And my guess is that's whatever call that was answering. But ever since the storm in Memphis and that all cleared up, it feels like something has shifted, like something was set off.
Big time. I feel it. All right. I'll still take a cup of tea if you're offering.
What kind do you want? I got chamomile. I got the little kind with the bear on it.
Oh, I like the one with the bear on it. Is it the one where he's like real sleepy or just a little sleepy?
I don't know.
Oh
I
God.
I just
I'll
I
just
know what
take
the
the
fuck you're talking about.
I mix and match. I rip up
I
the
just-
bag.
Sometimes I open the packet with the sleepy bear and I mix it into the bag with the really sleepy bear, and it all kind of mixes together.
I had someone go out and buy me some once, and they said they chose it because it got the little bear on it. And then ever since I've really liked it, so I just kept giving people like whenever I'd go to the grocery store, I'd say find this one for me. So I'm not sure if it's the sleepy bear or the real sleepy bear, but it's got a bear on it. And she pulls down the box and shows it to you, and it's the one with the real sleepy bear.
Oh yeah, it's the one. It's the goods. Yeah, I think that.
Also, she wouldn't be able to see it because she's blind.
Yeah, I realized as I was asking, like, oops. I don't know. I feel like we should all speak to the extent at which like she is blind, whether it's like legally blind or like fully blind. Because I know that it is a spectrum, and sometimes you can still see like kind of generally blurry shapes, or like some colors, but not like things all the way through. But anyway, I would have to look stuff about that up because I don't know it off the top of my head. I don't want to say anything that is incorrect on the matter.
I'll talk to y'all after the stream.
Yeah. But I think that Fig will probably close out her late night, early morning, just like having a cup of tea with Miss Merrill, and I don't know, just like picking her brain a little bit more about what goes on around the town. I think that honestly, Miss Merrill is the only person in town, just no offense to the rest of you, that Fig actually feels like comfortable around. Just
What do you mean?
She's just never reanimated a corpse in front of Fig, and you know what? I wouldn't think that's a high bar. But apparently it is.
The standards are too high.
And I am imagining, you'll have to bear with me for this. I am imagining Fig like pulling her little man out of her backpack and like gently placing him on the floor in front of Miss Merrill's very alive and not taxidermied cat, and then the two of them just like roil around and play with each other. And I just think that's like the cutest mental image ever, is that just like Miss Merrill and Fig having a cup of tea over a deck of old tarot cards, and then these little critters just like in the corner.
I will say these really old tarot cards have braille on them.
Damn. It's rad.
Yeah. Yeah, so your little guy your little guy is playing with Miss Merrill's cat. We're really good at naming animals this season.
He's little guy. We decided.
He's little guy. Miss Merrill's cat is Miss Merrill's cat. Maybe he has a name. I don't know. And you kind of talk about both the mundane and the supernatural, and you get a little bit more about her history. She's not too revealing. I think she probably reminds you a little bit of yourself, where she's like, yeah, I'll answer questions, but I'm not gonna give you more than you ask for when it comes to like her personal life. But when it comes to like the town's personal life, she's like, yeah, I got the deets, Fig. And so you kind of just talk to her. I think at one point one of you falls asleep. I'm assuming it's Miss Merrill, just kind of like drifts off a little bit. Just like in this big kind of cozy chair that is in this shop part of her house shop, and just kind of, yeah. You've solved my Mothman mystery.
Yay.
He was wet all along. And he wasn't Mothman.
Your Mothman mystery was Mothman's been dead for a while
Mothman's
now.
been eaten.
Listen, the creature said it like saw things in the woods. It did not say it ate them.
Okay, so it didn't need to eat them to get their powers. It just could copy off of.
Because I was also just about to say that it like seemed like it had like a Bigfoot form, and so I was like, Eric.
Yeah. That's when she mentioned Eric. I was like, oh my god, did Eric die?
Yeah, no, it like it could basically see that this form and like transfer into it. So.
Cool. End of session questions.
End of session questions. Great point. I also did think about bringing Eric in, and it was gonna depend on how well the second session went, and how much I needed to steer you guys in the direction of like this is a shapeshifter, not the actual creature. But then you all rolled really well, so Eric's fate is to be determined. End of session experience. Did you conclude the current mystery?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Good job. Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
No.
If you count bringing someone back to life,
that is certainly
No.
worse.
as saving someone from certain
Don't
death.
say bring them back to life.
I think you caused something worse. I think
Up to interpretation.
You've unsaved someone from death to create something worse.
Well, you know.
So no.
From
No.
my point of view.
Did you learn something new and important about the world?
Goop
Shapeshifters.
monsters. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you learned about the shapeshifters last time, but I think probably like in the like you probably thought about it like on the way back and or even did some research or something, but I think you would have realized that like the creature that's how it ate. It was sort of like it ate like a snake, where it had one big meal for a while, but like it basically continuously absorbed the person.
I would also argue that I feel like this episode cemented how for lack of a better term, tricky the forest is in general, and that it should not be taken lightly in the future. Yeah.
The forest and the fog and the mystery of the wilderness. So yeah, did you learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
Arthur did.
Arthur hates us.
yeah, Arthur
Oh.
learned some uncomfortable truths about Philip.
That is true.
Yeah, I think that counts. Yeah, I think Arthur learned some stuff about Philip, and then like we as the players slash audience slash GM learned like more about Arthur's feelings on death and like how Arthur feels about all that. And some of Cole's insecurities. So I think it was a lot of little things, but I think we learned something new and important about all of our characters. So that is 2 marks of experience.
Dope.
Cool,
We
cool.
did it.
I level up.
Woo!
Congratulations.
I don't.
Is this
Not
your
yet.
first level up?
No, that's my second.
Second.
But it's the one that
Okay.
catches me up to y'all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So wrap up stuff. First of all, thank you, Crackety Jones. I'm glad you enjoyed. I was nervous about running it. I haven't DM'd once during the week for a while, but I had a lot of fun running it. Thank you to all of you for being amazing players and enjoying my cool, fun body horror and Wet Mothman and Gross Goop. And
Also, a big thank you to Chris for music.
yes,
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to Chris for music.
We're officially halfway through season 2.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
True.
scheming and plotting. But with that, next week we will not be streaming Monster of the Week. I assume, or we might stream something else.
Maybe. Yeah. We'll
Maybe.
talk about it.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
announce on the Discord if we decide to stream sometime this week.
Yep.
Also, if any of us like individually decide to stream as well.
Yeah. We won't
Uh,
have Scarlet Hollow this Thursday. Just because I'm busy.
Yes, I'm also
Um,
busy. So
But definitely want to hop back on that train. We'll let you guys know when that happens again.
Yes.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm going to be preoccupied.
Yeah.
Well, with something fun, but still.
Cool.
Disappointment in chat for no chunking of bunguses.
No bungus chunking.
We'll bungus chunk at a later date.
Don't worry.
We'll
I also miss chunking bunguses, so gotta know how chunky those bunguses get. But yeah, we will return the week after next with more Monster of the Week. Stay tuned next week for programming. That makes it sound very fancy. Whether or not we'll stream. And thanks for letting me tell a fun mystery.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling it.
Yeah.
Mystery.
Well done, Mars.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night. Have fun.
Good night, everybody.
Drink
See you
some
later.
water.
Drink
I love
water.
you.
Stretch your
Eat-
legs.
Oh,
Hug someone you
yes.
love.
Unclench your jaw.
Love you guys.
Hug
You
someone
are valuable.
Bye.
Don't do that one.
Bye.
Bye.